that I'm not. I will get there. Just give one more shot. Strike while the iron is hot.
Hey, yo, good to see you, good to see you, good to see you, good to see you. Welcome to the Atrioc broadcast on April 10th, 2025. Gord Willie. Hello, 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 hello. No denim shirt or hat. You're sad about that now. Because before you were making fun of me for it. Now I don't wear a denim shirt. Now I'm... hello, 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 hello. Do you sit in silence while the intro plays? No, I don't even sit down. No, dude, I'm not sitting here in silence. I'm fucking setting up, making sure the room is cool because it's fucking hot as shit in here. Hello, Quumphy. Did you remember to go live because I commented moo, moo, moo on the freshly uploaded Big A Clips video? Yes, that's exactly what happened. I was actually not going to go live, but then your inspiring message of moo, moo, moo was like a rallying call. It was like a bat signal for me to get my ass up and make some content for the fellow cows out there. So really, really impressive of you. What an interesting day that I've had. I want to tell you guys about a very, very interesting day. Can't say what the pitch is for, but I had to go to an IRL pitch where they gave me liquid death and candy and then pitched me on something for the stream. Might end up happening. Hey, Big A, does anyone use LinkedIn these days? No, well, I mean, yes, people do, but not very helpfully. Plus, I like Doug 75 Gifted. Then after that, I can't tell you too much about that, but I got to talk IRL with someone directly impacted by these tariffs that I kind of am going to tell a story about later that really shows like, yeah, this is just how they're fucking stupid. This is like the direct impact they're going to have on somebody who actually employs people. Not Aiden or Logan. No one you guys would know. And then, after that, Aidish, who's still in my house right now, came over. He's leaving, I think, this second. Maybe he should come say hi. Aidish came over, and we watched the first episode of the new Black Mirror. MJ Legend, think of it, the 44 months. Now, I don't know if you guys have seen the show Black Mirror. Just in general, have you ever seen an episode of the show Black Mirror? It's like this show. Black Mirror. I'm sure you guys have seen like maybe, I don't know. What's like the most famous one? This one maybe? Have you seen this one? I feel like that's the most famous one. Am I crazy? Or the star rating one. Black Mirror star rating. This one. Wait. This one right here where they're like giving each other star ratings. The pig one? Dude, it's crazy because I think the first episode being the pig one has turned 50% of all people that ever would have tried the show off. I think the first episode is like so odd that it made no one try any of their episodes, even though some of the episodes are quite good. The first episode, they have the Prime Minister of the UK fuck a pig on camera. Which might be par for the course over there. I don't even know if that's satire. You know, that just feels like a classic British. I feel like that's part of just daily life there in the old UK. But the reason I bring it up, the reason I'm bringing up Black Mirror is a brand new season came out today, and I am officially, as of right now, giving it the rare and elusive Atrioc seal of disapproval. Do not fucking watch this show. Disapproval. This is the big A. The big A disapproval, okay? Do not fucking watch the new season of Black Mirror, at least the first episode. I'm going to tell you that I watched it today with Adish, and it is singularly one of the most depressing pieces of TV I've ever watched in my life. I've never, ever been more fully and completely depressed by a show with, it's bleak start to finish with no, like, there's good and there's bad. I understand that, like, something can be good and depressing. I totally understand that. But this is so singularly depressing. It's like, it's crazy. I have no reason why that would make someone's life better to have watched that. Black Mirror has always been bleak. I agree that Black Mirror has always been bleak. And perhaps, I don't know, maybe as the world has more struggle in it, I'm less tolerant of such a hopeless episode. But I also think it was probably one of the bleakest episodes ever. It didn't even have like any jovial moments. It was horrendous. It's horrendous. Bro, I could not imagine watching that with so you're saying it's torture? Yeah, I don't know. That's fair. That's why I watch Gilmore Girls on repeat. Happy vibes. Listen, I've never been one of the people that's like, oh, you should only watch Friends and The Office and Gilmore Girls on repeat. That's why I'm saying this from a point of like, I'm not that person. I'm not like, oh, it has to be happy. I fully watched Black Mirror today expecting a dark episode. This episode was just designed to make you feel shitty about your day, it was crazy. You can watch it on your own, but I can't imagine it was a worthwhile endeavor. Spoil it? I'll happily spoil it just to make people watch it less. Like, what would you want to depress yourself? Yeah, again. And there's like some Black Mirrors where it's kind of depressing, but it made me think about a new way technology could be used or something. I'm trying to think of an example of like a Black Mirror that I thought was really good, but also dark. Shut Up and Dance, or White Christmas was an interesting one with John Hamm, and it's like how you can block people and the idea of the AI people in the egg being tortured. The bees one was interesting. Again, what I told you is I went into this episode today as a fan of Black Mirror. So for me to say like, this one was depressing, just understand that like okay, so I'm going to explain this episode to you. If you really want to watch it, I guess cover your ears. But what I'm saying is I recommend not watching it. You will feel shitty. You will feel shitty. The episode was about them banning coffee. You guessed it. Yeah, it's about a world where they ban coffee, and I was so fucking depressed. I couldn't even imagine just a hellscape. How do I reset this? Put him on suicide. No wonder he hates it. Would you recommend scrolling for 7 hours again? So I just want to, what is her name? Rashida Jones. Dude, I just Googled it. The fucking, the number one thing is Black Mirror fans be warned. Do not start with this episode. It's the first episode, but we suggest working your way up to this bad boy. Dude, okay. It's legitimately so fucking dark. I can't believe. Okay. Isn't that every Black Mirror episode? If you think that, then definitely don't watch this one. If you think every episode of Black Mirror is too dark to go on with the rest of your day, then definitely don't watch this one. Because I liked the rest of them, and I hated this one. So I'm going to describe it, all right? If you don't want to be spoiled, don't watch it, but spoiling wouldn't even, how bad could it be? Okay, I'm just going to tell you what happens. We're going to fucking tell you, all right? If you would like to know, this is a couple, okay? It's Rashida Jones and I guess the guy from the It Crowd. I don't fucking know this guy. He's a good actor though. And They spend the first like 15 minutes of the episode just showing you how deeply in love they are. Just deeply, you know, they're poor, they're trying to get by, but they have this beautiful relationship and they're supportive of each other and they're in love and they're trying to make it work. And she's a school teacher that helps out like, you know, kids that are struggling, and he works as a welder and he takes extra shifts to make sure they have food on the table. And they celebrate their anniversary. Hey, babe.
Hello.
Babe, come here for a second.
Ugh.
Okay, you know how like sometimes Black Mirror episodes are like too depressing?
Yeah.
Don't watch the most recent one.
Really?
It's too depressing. Like, you'll hate it.
The one that we were talking about with them?
The first one of the new season.
Yeah.
I just watched it with Adish and it was like the worst. It's so depressing.
Like
It's
the worst
so
of all
sad.
Black Mirrors.
For me, maybe, yeah. It's the one that hit me the hardest.
Holy
For
shit.
sure.
Does it involve a father?
Yeah.
Well,
It does.
I don't want to watch it because of her anyway.
It's very sad. You don't like Rashida Jones?
Oh, sorry. I thought it was Aubrey Plaza. I do like her.
That's why it's so depressing, because halfway through they replace her with Aubrey Plaza. And it's not as good. No.
that's not
It's very depressing. I would recommend you not watch it. But
Well,
you
I
can watch
wasn't
it
going to watch it anyway.
Yeah.
It looks like you already watched it, so I'm in the clear.
Yeah, you're in the clear.
Yeah,
I watched it.
woo.
I'm glad I didn't watch it with you because it was very
Woohoo.
sad. Anyway, I'm explaining it to chat right now.
Okay, awesome. Thanks.
All right.
Okay. Wait. You really missed out.
Was it fun?
We got to go on the set of Batlock.
That's
The
freaking
whole
awesome.
soundstage that they film on.
That's freaking
It was,
awesome.
it was like her office and like the conference room, and you know all those stupid.
You think everyone does? What if we go back?
I asked the tour guide like, when do they start filming season 2? And she's like, oh, like in the autumn. And so I was like, if I come back with my husband, like, she'll be like, if you come within 1 or 2 weeks, I guarantee it.
That we should go
Yeah.
then.
And then we saw The Rookie too. It was kind of fun.
That's fun.
Yeah, but no
Did Nathan Fillion come by and give you a high five and say like, thanks for being
he
a big
wasn't there.
fan.
They're not filming. Anyways.
All right, babe.
It was so cool.
Well, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, see that like loving relationship right there, and you're like, wow, they're cute. They're having a good time together. Imagine that, like a 15-minute intro, and you're like, this couple is cute. We're rooting for them. Oh, thanks for the raid, by the way. Wait, who raided me? I should thank them. Gotta thank raids. Oh, Jerry C, thank you for the raid of 1. Appreciate that. Thank you for joining the stream. Everyone is a raid of 1 when you think about it. Okay. Okay. So anyway, you're watching this couple and you're like, wow, they're cute. They're cute, and I wish the best for them because they're trying to have a kid, but it hasn't worked out yet. But they're so excited about it, they bought a crib. But like she can't get pregnant right now, or they've been trying, but they're not getting pregnant, right? So it's like, okay, well, I hope that works out for them. And that's the idea, okay? That's the idea. And then, she keeps complaining of having headaches. She's like, oh, my head kind of hurts. And you're like, uh-oh, this is Black Mirror. That's going to be bad. And it is. It's fucking bad. So she's got a tumor. So 15 minutes in, after this couple you love, and they have this great intro, she's got a tumor in her brain, and it puts her in an irreversible coma that she can never get out of. That's the beginning. That's how the episode starts. So this guy who loves his wife so dearly, she's everything to him, now goes to the hospital, and they're like, yeah, there's nothing we can do. She's in a coma forever. Okay? Fucking great Black Mirror start. But again, I know it's going to be depressing, so I'm like, oh, shit, here we go. Fucking, they're going to give her a cyborg head or something. I'm like, I'm still eating popcorn. I'm still like, nah, whatever. That's sad, but like, I know what's going to happen. Okay? But it's so much worse. It's so much fucking worse. So then a lady comes by and she's like, hi, I'm from a new startup called Rivermind. You know what we're going to do? If you want to do this experimental procedure that can save your wife, we're going to cut out a chunk of her brain and offload it to the cloud. We're going to make a duplicate of her brain, put it in the cloud, and have that part be offloaded to the cloud. Rivermind. And that way, she doesn't need to have, we can cut out the tumor and she can live again. And the guy's like, okay. He's desperate. He's desperate and sad. And he loves his wife and he's crying. And he's like, okay, I'll do this. It's like our only hope. And she's like, great. There is a subscription fee of $300 a month, to handle the cloud service. So there's a subscription fee. So So they clone, they like make a copy of that part of his wife's brain, and they offload it to the cloud, and she wakes up, and he's so happy. He's like, and again, the acting is really good, especially from the husband. He's like giving all the emotions of like, despair and worry and love of his wife, but then he gets her back, and she's back, and it's working, and for a while, it's like, this is great, this is incredible. Like she's back from almost certain death or certain coma, and they're living their life, and she's back to work, and they love each other, and it's like, oh, this is kind of a cool piece of technology. And like $300 a month is a fucking lot, but it's expensive tech, and maybe you can justify it. And he has to pick up extra shifts, so like they're poor. So for $300 a month, that's a big deal. So he's working extra hard at the welding place. Okay. Then over time, they roll out Rivermind Plus. They roll out Rivermind Plus, and they're like, okay, well, obviously your life is pretty good, but if you want to go to our expanded cell coverage service, because like right now she can't leave her small little town. They can't travel to visit his sick dad. They can't like travel across the country. They can't leave any area because they have to be near the cell service for the Wi-Fi Connect. So you have to get Rivermind Plus if you want to get expanded service and like leave your town. And they want to like travel for their anniversary. And he's like, well, how much is that going to cost? And it's like $500 extra a month on top of the $300. And like, they can't afford it. And he's like, well, we have to stick with common. We just can't afford it. But then they start shitifying the common version, the one that he got when he was desperate. And they start making her randomly say ads. So like they're hanging out and drinking coffee, and she's like, what would be great is like Folgers Plus. Folgers extra strength crystals would be really awesome right now. Like she's just saying that, and she doesn't even know she's saying it. Like when he asked her about it, she doesn't remember it. They're like just doing ads on her free service. Then, because the server load is so expensive, like the service is popular and the server load's so high, she has to keep sleeping longer and longer. So like she's sleeping 12 hours a night and not feeling rested because they're offloading part of her brain to like the higher tier services. At the very beginning, I forgot to mention this, but at the beginning of the episode, when he's working his honest welder job, one of his like jerk off coworkers is like, fucking around, not working very hard. And he's like watching shit on his phone. He's like, bro, you gotta see this. It's called Dumb Dummies. And the guy's like, I don't really care about all of that. And he's like, no, dude, you gotta check it out. Look, this dude's drinking his own piss for money. And it's literally pump fun. It's literally pump fun. It's like somebody on camera trying to fucking pump a fucking token for money. Like somebody drinking their own piss or like hurting themselves or like just, doing something fucking deranged or embarrassing or like degrading for cash. And he sees it. Anyway, as they get later on in the show and her life is going downhill, like she can't work her job as a teacher because she's constantly saying ads to kids and the parents are complaining. So she's going to get fired so they can't even afford. So he has to go and he has to get money for them to get the plus tier. So he starts secretly, without her knowing, late at night, like doing dumb dummy stuff and like, drinking piss or like degrading shit on camera to get extra cash, like for pennies, like for $20 he's doing something, or like putting a mousetrap on his tongue so he like his tongue hurts, he can't even talk. He's doing all this fucking degrading shit just to get pennies to get by to afford the upgrade subscription so his wife can have a normal life. And again, you like these characters a lot. And they do such a fucking vivid job of showing how the extra stress from all the shifts and working hard and having to sleep more is like making them kind of like more frustrated and meaner with each other. Like their relationship's kind of breaking down a bit because it's so fucking foul, dude. It made me feel so shitty to watch. It was so horrendous. Anyway, I'm going to keep going. I want to tell you the whole episode because I don't want you to watch it. Okay? So then they get Rivermind Plus, and he's like doing this degrading shit on the side to afford it. But it's hard to keep up with the payments, and all the extra shifts he's doing are taking a toll on his body. And he really wants to like, have a little extra money so they can have a kid or travel or do something. And all they're doing is working. So then he, what happens next? How they have a kid? They don't have a kid yet. What happens next? Takes a loan? No, he doesn't get a loan. Oh, dude, what happens? Oh yeah, that's what happened. Okay, so he's like running low on bills, like because the payment is so high, it's $800 extra a month, that like, and all the shit he was doing for Dumb Dummies or Pump Fun is like losing its appeal. Like he can't just drink piss every night and get a steady income, The people that are like watching wanting to do more and more deranged shit. So eventually, someone comes in the chat and they're like, "Hey, if you take the mask," he's wearing a mask the whole time. He's always been wearing a mask because he didn't want his real life to find out. He's like, "If you take the mask off, I'll give you $500." Okay, and then he's like, he doesn't want to do it, but like $500 is $500. So he finally takes the mask off and like sticks a fucking I don't know, a fucking dildo up his ass or something, and gets, a good payday of money. But he does it on camera, okay, for Dumb Dummies. And he gets extra money and they feel like they're ahead of the payments for a little while, like they can afford to travel or whatever. But then he goes to work the next day and his fucking stupid ass coworker friend saw everything and posted it around the fucking job. And so now everyone at the job is like laughing at him and making fun of him because of the fucking shit he had to do and for money. And so he loses his job because he gets in a fight with the guy. So he loses his only source of income, and now they're fucked. Okay. And then they go to complain about it to Rivermind because they're like, please, we need an extension. We need to hold Plus. If we lose Plus, she's going to lose her job because she goes back to saying ads. And they're like, oh, I'm so sorry. We just can't do it. Like, I just can't even input it. Like, if you can't pay, you can't do it. And then, by the way, it's not really Plus anymore. Like, it's standard what you have. Actually, if you want the better features, you need Rivermind Lux, which is our new deluxe super version. And that version is like, that one has total access. Like, you get normal sleep hours. You're not sleeping extra. And you can have, and like your senses are heightened. You get better, you enjoy life more. Anyway, he has his extra $500, so he can't afford Lux because it's $1,000 extra a month on top of everything else. But you can buy a scratch-off card to get it for like 12 hours. You can buy a scratch-off card to get full access to your brain for like 12 hours. So he buys that shit with all his $500 and gives his wife like this freedom so they can go celebrate their anniversary this one time. And she does it, and like, it's so nice. Like her pleasure sensor and her serenity sensor are like turned up. So she's like really enjoying it. Like she has this one moment of clarity and joy and freedom and feels good. And then after 12 hours, it's all gone. And they can't afford the Plus tier. So she's back to saying ads. She's back to saying fucking ads. And it's like, so she's like misses the free, like she has felt the taste of freedom, but doesn't have it. And is back to saying ads. So it's so fucking dark. It's so deeply, painfully dark. And it just really shows their whole time, their emotions and how they're struggling with it and they're feeling about it. Anyway, then it flashes forward a year. She's been fired from her job and he is missing a fucking tooth and like just looks beat to shit because he's like full-time pump funning. It's so depressing. And it ends with a couple showing up to buy their crib. And he's like, hey, you know what? Good luck with the kid. It didn't work out for us, but maybe it'll work out for you. And they're like, we're buying this crib to burn down for a music video. And he has like the saddest grimace of all time. And then that would be a dark fucking ending right there. But they don't stop there. That would be the dark fucking ending. They don't stop there. Then he walks back into the house with a fucking 1 hour scratcher that he bought, probably fucking losing his tooth or something for the thing. 1 hour scratcher. And he gives it to her and she's like saying an ad as he's doing it. He gives it to her. She's sleeping like 14 hours a day now, 16 hours a day, because the server's been totally offloaded. Like, her life's fucking ruined. She wakes up, says ads, goes back to sleep. 1 hour scratcher to get her life back. They crank the Serenity thing up to max, and she goes, yeah, I think it's time. I love you so much, but I think it's time. And then he kills her. Then he has to kill her. And then himself. That's the fucking ending. I'm not kidding. That's the fucking show. It's fucking crazy. And I'm watching this with fucking 8-ish. And it ends. That's it. It just ends. That's the ending. Who the fuck made this show? That's fucking crazy, dude. Anyway, it was truly miserable. It's a miserable experience, start to finish. I get the point, I get the commentary, but by God, dude. So you recommend? I don't. I truly don't recommend it. I don't think I think it would make you. I don't know. I think you are worse for having watched it. I legitimately think you're worse for having watched it. So, anyway, spoilers are over. If you don't want to hear the spoilers for the episode, they're now over. I guess I probably still will watch the rest of the series. Only because I heard that's the depressing one. I heard that's the depressing one. Not they're all depressing, but like that's the one that like is far worse. But I wish I could have skipped it. Like I honestly don't wish I had seen it. It's like really fucking dark. It's very sad. It makes you very I don't know. It makes you more bleak on the universe. So anyway, I hope you didn't. I would recommend not watching it. Like, I honestly think you should go watch Minecraft movie and say Chicken Jockey. I think that's better. Chicken Jockey. I think Jack Black has done more good for the world than Charlie fucking Booker on this episode. Chicken Jockey.
Chicken Jockey.
And what's crazy is like, dude, it would not have been hard to put a little bit of something funny in there or something, or one moment of light. I don't know. Like, dude, at some point, like when you're throwing on, oh yeah, also his dad has cancer and he can't go see him, you know, or all, you know, it's just fucking stupid. It's like they just keep throwing in almost offhandedly just little fucking random sad things. Like they might have just randomly ran over a fucking dog. It would have been no different to the episode. The bleakness is the message, is a warning. This is I'm 14 and it's deep thinking. I'm telling you right now, this is I'm 14 and it's deep thinking. The lessons, the actual message of the episodes, actually pretty simple and told very quickly. They just repeat it over and over and make it worse. It is actually, I think one of the weaker messages of Black Mirror, but they amp it up by going more depressing to make it seem more cinematic. And I actually think I think it's one of the weaker ones. Did you see Chicken Jockey on Jimmy Fallon? That might cheer you up. Chicken Jockey would cheer me up and Jimmy Fallon would depress me. Chicken Jockey would cheer me up. Have you seen the Poker Face, the show? Great show. Love Poker Face. If you like Knives Out, Poker Face is like a show where every episode is a mini episode of Knives Out. It's the same director. It's great. Poker Face is awesome. Did you see Black Bag? I did. I saw Black Bag. I liked it. But I will say, I don't know. I like the dinner party scenes a lot. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil Black Bag. I think you should watch it. I think it's good. But I thought, I don't know. I thought Fassbender's character got a little grating. Like it's the same as his Hitman character, but with less to say. So it's just so anti-charisma. It's so dry. I wish they gave him. He can be so good, and they didn't give him anything to work with. But the dinner party was good. Have you seen Big Bang Theory? Yeah, that's more depressing than Black Mirror. Every time they say Bazinga, it's too dark. It's too depressing, dude. I just picture a million people clapping like seals right when they say Bazinga. Da, 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 da. Atrioc, I'm at work and one of my coworkers just spent an hour doing nothing while everyone else worked. I'm technically the one in charge. Should I chew him out or lay it easy on him or say nothing? I don't know. I wouldn't do anything for an hour, bro. If it's like a consistent, you know, if you're the guy in charge and consistently one guy's doing nothing, everyone else is working, they pick up the load, then you should talk to him and be like, yo, what's going on? But, you don't know people's lives. If it's not a pattern, I wouldn't even bring it up. Did you see this? What's this? Secretary of Defense tweeting. Sounds good. This is about Doge uncovering wasteful spending. Didn't they just announce big day for Doge?
Fantastic leadership, this amazing.
Big day for Doge.
Well, thanks to your fantastic leadership, this amazing cabinet, and the very talented Doge team, I'm excited to announce that we anticipate savings in FY26 from reduction of waste and fraud by $150 billion. And
wow, 150 billion. Wasn't it originally 2 trillion? Then you cut it down to 1 trillion, and now it's 150 billion. And isn't the whole project of Doge supposed to end in FY26? Didn't you say no matter what you would resign by fucking June 26? That's crazy. That's fucking crazy. And we're doing tax cuts. And we're doing fucking tax cuts and increasing military spending. And we've already spent more this year than by the same time last year. So we're already on a accelerated deficit pace. Interesting. Atrioc, I just finished watching Lemonade Stand and got confused when he talked about the IMF because I thought you were talking about the Impossible Mission Force. I was. When I said the IMF does debt trap diplomacy with African nations, I was talking about Ethan Hunt, Tom Cruise. No spoilers. I'm not done yet. I'm gonna spoil something. So we have recorded not just the latest episode of the podcast, but also we've recorded a Patreon episode that I think I'm going to publish for free, or some part of it for free, on Big A Clips. And what I want to tell you is it is the best episode. I mean, at least in terms of like getting raw and real. It's only an hour, but it's like the best. I think Aiden has the best speech I've ever heard him give. Aiden like blacked out and turned into an Aaron Sorkin movie and started fucking like passionately. He's like hitting the table. I mean, it's like he gave a fucking speech. So I recommend, I highly recommend it. And if you're interested, I'll probably post Aiden's speech for free on the Clips channel to get as like a teaser or as a promo. But I was very impressed. What does this fucking thing say about common people? Yeah, dude, this is line. Even those of us at Mashable Entertainment who pride ourselves on watching totally twisted TV and movies were winded by common people. Yeah. Yeah, it was so devastating. It would have been easier if they didn't. I thought, I wish I knew that. Chris O'Dowd, especially Chris O'Dowd, but also Rashida Jones, they just acted too well. It's too dark. Too fucking dark. New Summoning Salt dropped. Summoning Salt sent me a nice tweet. He said like Atrioc killing it lately or something. That's really fucking nice. I would love to watch a Summoning Salt if it's he lied. Why is Summoning Salt nice to me and you're mean, R-Dubs? You're my mod. Why is Summoning Salt upping me and making me feel better and you are trying to bring me down? In what world is that? Okay, you'd think it would be reverse. Killing it as in killing his audience with boredom. Ball Twisting Wizard, you have 999 plus messages, been following for 2 years. Am I murdering you with boredom? Or maybe you're over 2 years getting your money's worth. Maybe you're getting something enjoyable. Maybe you're a community or a content that you enjoy. Does it feel like I am 900 of them are me cursing your balls to explode? Hate this guy. Okay. So you're really getting into character here. You really think of yourself as the ball twisting wizard. Usually when people have a stupid username, they don't actually like LARP as it. They don't LARP. That's why he's the GOAT. I guess I can't argue with that. So I'm not. Well, GOAT's a strong word. Can we confirm his history? No, his history is normal, unfortunately. I was a past victim over from Coney's chat. Do not take his threats lightly. Is he in there too? Feels strong, man. Oh my God, it's my first time watching live. I'm so happy. Logic board. You have absolutely watched me before. I have a message from you 2 months ago. Hey, Atrioc, first time chatter here. I want to know what Coke is like for research purposes. 2 months ago, you said that. And now you're here saying it's your first time watching me live. It's just it doesn't add up. It doesn't fucking add up, dude. It doesn't track. Are you ever bringing back the book club? Ain't no one around to talk about these dry ass books I'm reading. I'm not bringing back any Big A book club, but we're gonna do a Lemonade Stand book club. But here's a warning: Aiden picked the first book, number 1. Number 2, it's not a snoozer, but I disagree with it. So I don't want to reveal it just yet, but I'll reveal it when we do it. And it's Catcher in the Rye. No, that would be funny though. TBNR Marcus, thank you for the 19 months. When are you going to get Elon on Lemonade Stand? Really think he'd bring some valuable knowledge to the pod. We would absolutely have Elon on if he wanted to be on. Of course. I would aspire to learn from America's great Doge runner. We need a fourth white guy. America's bitchiest billionaire, yeah. No. Any plans for the first guest episode? No, I don't know. One of the people we thought about was CoffeeZilla, but I don't know who our first guest would be or how we're going to do a guest. The problem is the pod is so long. What if a guest comes on and wants to talk about one thing and then they have to sit there while fucking me and Doug talk about China or something? Like, what's the, do you know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how, to handle it yet. It might be like a brief guest spot, like a news show. Yeah. What if we brought somebody on and they stay for 30 minutes? I don't know. I don't know how to do it. Something we're going to talk about. But we want to do an episode from like a different country, like China. That would be awesome. Do 2 weeks in China. Lena Khan would be really good for sure. Xi Jinping would be a great guest. Xi Jinping would be a great guest. Xi Jinping and Obama, kind of like a showdown. Lee Kuan Yew, isn't he dead? Like long dead? Am I crazy? Yeah, long dead. Died 2015. A decade out of life, as they say. You should replace Aiden with Nick one day and see if anyone notices. Bro, Aiden's been electric on the pod. Aiden is the heart and soul of the pod. He brings the human emotion. Alan Greenspan as a guest. Why? So we can talk about bond yields 30 years ago. Here, let me get a hat real quick. And let's talk about today. I do want to play a game today. I want to play Blueprints. It looks awesome. It looks fucking awesome. This game is so fucking goated, scroted, loaded from all the reviews. Like Metacritic Blueprints. Yeah, bro. It's got like a bunch of 100s, bunch of 90s, all green. Blueprints took my breath away more times than I could count. This person's like having a fucking orgasm playing it. I think I'll probably enjoy it, right? Like, I've been looking for a good game. So I want a puzzle game. And what's the new summoning salt? Holy shit, the history of 120 stars early era? It's a Mario 64 summoning salt? Oh, you know that's a banger. Oh, you know that's a banger, dude. A return to form. We should watch it. We're live at 7. Yeah, I mean, we should just watch it, right? Is that crazy? Is there any like major news I want to talk about? I talked about a lot of the tariff stuff on the pod. You know, quick recap. Trump said reciprocal tariffs on everybody in the world. Then everything started to break. Then Scott Bessent basically begged him in private, saying that you're going to have a Great Depression versus a recession. If we don't change something, at least focus only on China. And then Trump said fine, because he saw Jamie Dimon on TV talking about recession. And so they changed the tariffs to be only on China, 10% on everybody, 145 on China, and question mark on people who retaliated. So like Europe is a question mark. And then Scott Bessent came out in public and said, oh, brilliant idea from Trump yet again, even though it was his fucking idea to try and save it. And then the market went super green, biggest up day in ever in like 17 years. And then today it's crashing again because this hasn't fixed any of the problems. It's only slightly better than the terrible plan before, but it's still gonna fucking crush so many domestic industries that rely on imports from China. And it's going to lead to layoffs. And we already were in a recessionary environment. People were already spending less. It doesn't make anything good. It just makes it a tiny bit less bad. And we're fucking cooked. It's a pretty negative spot to be in. I did want to bring up the Doug stock game to show you that I'm fucking back, baby! $83 green. You can't keep me down, dude. Trump's best attempts. Can't fucking keep me down. $83 for the kids. Okay? And you know what the number one fucking pick here is? Not Tempest AI. Fucking gold. I'm fucking the gold member guy. Gold. Number one. Dude, literally go back and watch that video I made about, who was it? Destiny or someone who fucking talked shit on gold, and I made a video like, and the comments are all like, what a fucking idiot you are to put 15% of your net worth in gold. It's like, what a fucking fool. What a buffoon. How do you not understand? Yeah, I mean, not even this fucking game, dude. This is like one of the best decisions I made in my life. If I was still in NVIDIA, I'd be fucking significantly. Play Hitman? I'm playing Hitman tomorrow. Tomorrow I'm playing Hitman with Linkus. We're playing Hitman VR. Adish helped me get it set up. We tested it. It works. The game is set up. It's worked. I got it to go. No tech issues. It's going to be awesome. Cinema. Totally cinema. Our first time in VR for both of us. I think it'll be a fucking blast. What do you think of Speed meeting Xi Jinping? That did not happen, right? There's zero shot that happened. I know we live in a crazy world. But there's no shot Speed met with Xi Jinping. No, you guys are fucking lying. But I am going to Google it, so you got me. Xi Jinping, I show Speed. Yeah, it didn't happen. It didn't happen. But you did make me Google it. You did. I got. You did make me Google it. But I had to be sure. I didn't want to be wrong. I did fall for it. I've been pranked. Oh, Lakers game? All right, quick basketball talk for the basketball heads. Lakers with Luka Doncic finally played the Mavs with AD. They switched places, you know? They switched from the Lakers to the Mavs. They finally played. It was fucking cinema! It was absolute glinema! It was gorgeous! Luka dropped 45. Everybody at the Mavs Stadium cheered for him. They played a tribute video to Luka. He cried, dropped 45, and then at the end, everyone chanted "Fire Nico." It was cinema. It was beautiful. It was incredible. It was the game of games. Everyone hugged AD. You know, they missed him. He had a good game, but obviously not good enough. There was a standing ovation. There was a standing Ovechkin at a hockey game. It was incredible. The whole thing was good. Cuban in the crowd. Yeah, Cuban was like, whenever they were chanting Fire Nico. Anyway, it was beautiful. It was fun. And it pretty much guaranteed the Lakers are going to the playoffs without the play-in. I think it did guarantee that. And if they win one more, they're locked third seed. I don't know. I'm getting too into the details now, but it's going to be fucking awesome. It's exciting. Hey, Atrioc, if you don't mind, I'd love to tell you a quick joke I heard today. Everybody gather round. Sheba Cat has a quick joke. Yeah, I'd love to. What's the joke, smiley face? Do you like fish sticks? Okay. Okay. To be honest, no. How do you deal with that? I don't like fish sticks. How do you do it? I don't like fish. They're not good. What are you, homophobic? What are you, a homophobic fish? Fish sticks aren't even good, bro. Like, in what world would you rather have fish sticks than pizza rolls? No, I asked the question. I asked the fucking question. Every single day, crazy. Pizza rolls are also bad. Both of them are freezer food, right? They're not going to be good. But if I'm going to have freezer food, I want pizza rolls. And I think I'll stand behind that. I think I would fight for that. I think I would die for that. I think if there was a pizza rolls flag, I would charge up the hill to put it on Fish Sticks Hill and then and hold the fucking line. And I would do that with my fucking brothers in arms who like pizza rolls. Hot Pockets clear. Hot Pockets clear the fucking skin off the roof and sides of your mouth because it's so fucking melting hot on the inside that you actually have permanent fire damage to your eating apparatus. Truth nuke. I would die for fish sticks. Yeah. Okay. Well, good for you then. Is MSTR going to have to liquidate Bitcoin this year? Dude, I do believe that MicroStrategy, if Bitcoin keeps dropping, which it has been, may have to liquidate. But it's tough to say, right? He has a lot of different schemes. He's a very scheming guy, that Michael Saylor. And he's found ways to delay and obfuscate and make the fact that he owns a fucking business that does nothing but lose money and buy Bitcoin. Hey, Atrioc, do you think it's worth getting into gold for the first time with the uncertainty of the market turning to? I can't tell you that, man. I can't make that choice for you. What I'll say about gold is, historically, it's not a great way to grow your wealth. Like if you're trying to like grow it, gold's a good way to protect your wealth. It's not really a great way to grow it. It's not really going to get more purchasing power. Also, what I would say is when you're 18, you hear a lot of different advice, but the most important investment you can make is in yourself. If there's like one, class you want to take, or book you're interested in buying, or guitar you want to learn, or fucking maybe you want to take you want to get a gym membership, or any of that is going to be more worth your money than trying to put it into a fucking crypto token or a stock or gold. 100%. Any extra money you have, I think when you're that young, you should just invest in your fucking self. And like, or it could be something as simple as like, hey, I'm not sleeping very well. What if I get a nicer pillow? Or that stuff is going to pay way more dividends on your life than you trying to find the right fucking stock. I believe that. It's not the number one common advice, but that is what I'll tell you. Or you could travel, or you could whatever. I mean, I'm more of the opinion that that's gonna get you a lot farther than. Now, I don't know if buying a Switch 2 is investing in yourself, as some people are saying, but it's fun. You'll have a good time. Life's not all about making the fucking grinder choice. You ever still ride on a skateboard? I've been skateboarding a lot recently. It's been awesome. Bro, I'm fucking 33. I touch a skateboard and my knee will explode. No, I haven't been on a skateboard since I was like 27. Probably the last time I do it. That's fucking... And even by then, I was only longboarding. I'm not saying you couldn't do it with practice, but what's the risk I'm taking, you know? Aiden's fucking younger than me. How old is Aiden? 28, 29? Aiden played basketball a few days ago, blew out his fucking ankle. Now he's got crutches. I'm not kidding. He's walking around he can't play basketball for 3 weeks. Everyone's getting injured. Aiden's a stick man, though. I mean, it doesn't change your ankle. Just like LeBron? No, nobody's like LeBron. That's what I'm realizing, is nobody's like LeBron. LeBron somehow can play when he's 40 and fucking not get hurt at all. Everyone else, there's MasterCard, dude. You got to drink your milk. You think that's the secret to LeBron's success, is he drinks more milk than other athletes? That's the one secret power of LeBron James, is that he drinks milk. Chalky milk. Yeah, I don't know about all that. Genuinely, I drink a gallon of milk a day since I was 8, and I haven't been injured since. Okay. All right, bro. I mean, maybe, but let's assume that not all injuries are milk-based, right? It's not everything is related to how much calcium you've consumed. I'm not saying milk is bad for you. I like milk. But I don't think it's the end-all, be-all. But are we headed to a milk-based economy? Well, we have a lot of cows here and everything else is tariffed, so maybe we are. Especially without... Dude, have you seen how much the dollar is falling relative to the Swiss franc? Probably not, because who cares, but... Dude, look at the fucking plummet. Look at the plummet, dude. Everyone is piling in safety, and safety is no longer us. I can't tell you enough how there was a time when the world had economic uncertainty, they would pile into the dollar, into our U.S. debt, even into our fucking stock market. And now, when the world has uncertainty, they are fleeing America. This is fucking bad. I mean, the piping of our financial system is getting piped. By fucking Orange Man. It's not good. Things are breaking that are hard to put back. Why Swiss? Switzerland is like the ultimate safe haven for money. As I mentioned before, the Swiss bonds are now negative yielding, which means you have to pay them to let them borrow your money. Like, you are loaning them money and paying them for the privilege. Because they have extreme resiliency. They've always paid their debts. They have no extreme debt. Their government has a balanced budget. They have no war. Switzerland is neutral with everybody. How is that profitable for Frito-Lay? That's one of my favorite scenes ever. What's the guy's name? Jesse Plemons? Have you guys seen the... How could that be possible? How could that be profitable for Frito-Lay? Game night. Game night. That's probably the best scene. The movie's fine. It's like not even that good, but that scene's hilarious. Yeah, 200 years no war, Switzerland. Palin K6. Thank you for the 5 gifted subs. I appreciate it. Do you have a message? No message ever. You've never chatted. You just dropped 5 gifted. Well, thank you. I assume you like the YouTube. I will absolutely tell Adish that he's doing a bad job and cut his pay. That way I can profit 2 ends. I'll get your money here and I'll get his money from... Do you understand? Let's call it art of the deal. Art of the squeal. Are Swiss bonds SSS? They're above AAA. I think they're the best, safest, most reliable bond in the world right now. German bonds are not S. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do with the SS pun. I get that. No, German bonds are not SS. German bonds are, I think, the safest in Europe. I could be wrong. Outside of Switzerland, I mean. But of the big Eurozone countries, I can check. 10-year bond yields by country. Let's see who's fucking the safest. Okay. Let's quick check here. Switzerland, obviously the lowest. It's now positive, not negative, but Japan, this doesn't count. Japan's a little tricky little minx. Because Japan, their yields are low because no one in the world buys them. They just buy their own. They print money and buy their own. So nobody actually thinks Japan's yields are this low or would buy them. They just buy their own. So it's not real and has its own problems. Germany, though, because of their relatively low debt compared to everyone else and stability, has the 3rd lowest, which is why they're gearing up for the largest borrowing package in European history. They've hated not borrowing money for so long, they have to do it. Now, they do in some ways have to do it because their infrastructure is crumbling. But it's so annoying. You know what's funny is like, okay, this is a thought I've always had, and I want to drill into it more. Sometimes countries will say, we got to balance our budget. And they'll do it through often what is called austerity, which has a terrible, dirty reputation because what they cut is things for regular people. They cut like health services and they cut like, and everyone's like, fuck austerity. Like, yeah. And of course, but it's weird that like in the UK, when they do austerity, like health services get cut, but like all the programs that benefit the very rich don't get cut. like I think the UK has the money to run a balanced budget with normal services. It's just weird that like The idea that running a balanced budget is in itself austerity is weird because for decades, countries did it and they had better performing services. It's like totally possible that if we collect tax money from everybody, we can afford to make roads, make bridges, fund schools, and fund health services. Like everyone's paying taxes, we distribute that for things we want. It should be possible, but somehow it doesn't add up. Somehow we don't have balanced budgets, and the things we have to cut are things people rely on. So it's frustrating to me that the idea of just having a balanced budget is like, oh, that's austerity. That's fucking crazy. It's like, well, we did it before, and everyone had services they liked. The money is getting siphoned somewhere. Keir Starmer spends it all on Pokemon cards. I was talking to the guy. You guys heard of this? This is not an ad. Have you guys heard of the website or app Whatnot? WHATNOT, Whatnot. Do you guys know what that is? It's not an ad. I'm going to say negative things about it, so it's not an ad. Whatnot. All right. Well, apparently it is like they looked at China and all of their live shopping programs and said, holy shit, we got to make that in America. And so they did. So Whatnot is essentially like live shopping. It's like live shilling things that you can buy through the app. It's like if I were to tell you about how great the PSVR 2 headset is. Oh, wow, it's so awesome. And if you hit the button below the screen, you can buy it right now. Act fast. It's like QVC. It's like Zoomer QVC. Okay? That's the idea. Yeah, TikTok kind of has it too. Live shopping on TikTok. But it's built just for shopping and like you're supposed to show things. Anyway, what it's become, like their main growth area is Pokemon cards. So if you go to this app, almost everything you're going to see is people like unboxing cards and like selling them live. Or like, you know, you donate to get a pack rip and you, whatever. It's like a live eBay. Yeah. But cards are the main thing. And I was talking with a Whatnot employee. I don't even know if I should say, I won't say who it is, but, and like Pokemon is still in a bubble, right? It's still like doing well and some cards are, but not all the sets are crushing. And many people are like camping out at Costco, getting the fucking latest set, ripping it, trying to sell it and losing money. And there's so many sad Facebook Marketplace posts and so many sad Whatnot posts of people that thought they had like guaranteed money and they don't have it. Like it's not working. Easy market forces. Well, yeah, dude, that's funny. I would have said that yesterday. If you asked me yesterday, I'm like, dude, fucking fuck scalpers. And now I'm picturing like those I'm picturing a guy like scalping to pay for his wife's cancer surgery. And I'm like, oh, I feel bad for him. And now, you know what I'm saying? Because of that fucking Black Mirror episode. Now it's like I can't. Hey, thanks for the 1 year. Thank you for the 1 year. Trains all day. I assume you're a big Trains fan. As am I. Our Marketing Monday China researcher, Stefik, is currently on a grand tour of China, visiting family and friends. And she sent me a video from a train going from Chongqing to Guangzhou at 350 kilometers per hour. Just zooming. Isn't that fucking cool? Isn't that fucking cool? That's a fast people mover. It's like, I don't even have a word for that in American. What do you call that thing? I didn't know people movers could go that fast. Anyway, it's fucking wild. We should just have those here. Your take on UK austerity issues, the UK government needs to own most of its assets, but are sold off with assets that are more expensive and many large costs like student loans. No, but I'm not even talking about assets, bro. What I'm saying is, if you did a budget breakdown of the UK, how much they raise in taxes and how much they spend, where is that money going specifically that led to the cuts for the most vulnerable? Like where is, are we certain, quite certain that there are not large amounts of the budget going to things that don't help regular people, but that's not getting cut, while things that do help regular people are getting cut? That is my situation. I get and by the way, you know, there were obviously years in the UK when they funded the NHS and they funded all these things with tax money with a balanced budget or a minor deficit. And now they have massive blowout deficits and they're doing austerity and they can't, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's of course causing trouble, you know, it's causing frustration for regular people. Someone had a great take on this. I was listening to a podcast or something, probably Lemonade Stand because it's the best podcast, but, and they were like, sometimes with tax services, it's like Equinox. Okay? If you've ever been to an Equinox gym, you go to an Equinox gym and it's like, okay, this shit's fucking expensive, but you feel it. So you walk around an Equinox gym and you're like, I know where my money is going. So maybe I don't like the high prices, but like if I pay, people that pay them generally seem to like that because they look around and they see, you know, all the machines are clean. Everything's open. There's a nice sauna. There's towels. It's nice. Okay. There's countries where you're paying Equinox prices for your taxes, like the UK, but you're getting like 24-hour fitness service. And like for the average citizen, they're like, there's a disconnect. They're like, what the? Yeah, Sweden. Sweden is Equinox. Okay. Sweden and the Nordic countries, you're like walking around, you're like, I'm paying high taxes, but I feel where the money's going. I feel like my services are high quality. I have trust in my judicial system and my roads and so that, not saying that's the only way. The other way is like the fucking low taxes, 24-hour fitness, figure it out. Either way, right? At least there's an argument one way or the other. But what we have in many places are like for middle class burdens, high tax rates for them. It's low on the rich, but high on the middle class. And they're not seeing the benefits. They're not seeing like infrastructure get repaired. They're not seeing, you know, well-funded schools. They're not seeing. So I think that's what's causing a lot of the unrest and what the pushback. Bum, ba-da-bum. Bum, ba-dum. Bum, ba-da-bum. Do you think this is possible to do at the national level? At the state level, it seems much more possible. Yeah, I think it's possible at the national level. Again, it's in living memory. Joe Biden was 30 when we did this. Reasonably, we had a balanced budget in this country and services that had like higher trust rates. We built infrastructure. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, it's not, I'm not saying it like it's never been done in human history. But I don't think it starts by raising our military budget this year by 150 billion while cutting taxes. That's my crazy take. That's my wild take. That's my brave take. Can you talk more about bonds? I see outlined there's a red wall that if the yield goes over, that everything starts breaking. Is that a real thing? The concept of a hardline red wall is not a real thing. The U.S. bonds continuing to rise, being very bad for the market, is a real thing. Yeah, it is. Let's take a quick look here. So again, this is Liberation Day with the idea that it would drive our borrowing costs down. This is our borrowing cost. This is how much it costs the U.S. to borrow money. This is the interest we have to offer. The higher it goes, the more dangerous it is. Okay? Liberation Day was supposed to drive it down. It drove it down for like a day. Everyone said, oh my God, it's working. It's genius. And then, then it fucking slingshot it up. And now it's up. Our borrowing costs are up. Why is 5% the number everyone's talking about? I think it's just a random, breakpoint number. 5% would be bad, yeah. But this is already bad, dude. They need to get it down. Because we have $17 trillion of debt we have to refinance soon. Like this year. Maybe not all 17 this year, but it's all short term. So we have to refinance a lot of it this year and the next. And we need to get lower rates when we do that. And we're the best way to get low rates is to be a stable, reliable country that everyone knows will pay on time and that can afford its debts. So that means having somewhat of a balanced budget, and we're not doing any of that. And we thought we could do it by panicking everyone in the world by crashing the stock market, I guess. If we panic everybody, they'll flee to buy our treasuries and we can lower this rate. But that didn't work. They fucking bought other things. They bought Swiss bonds and gold and German bonds. And so it's a bad reaction. And this, by the way, this bond market rising is why Trump blinked. From all the reports, all the internal reports, this is why Trump, I think he even said the bond market got a little queasy and we that's a direct Trump quote. That is why, because if this gets too high, it's Liz Truss, dude. Everything breaks. Everything breaks. Because so many things are guaranteed by Treasury. Treasury is like the collateral under a lot of things. And I hate to go too into bonds because everyone fucking loses track, but as this number goes higher, current bonds you own become less valuable. So a lot of banks have these. They underpin a lot of our financial system. And as they drop in value, things start to break. And they have to sell them to pay off debts, which makes this number go higher, which causes an endless cycle. I hate to go into the weeds because most people never have to know this in their whole life, but how the bond market plumbing works is very important. And the easy way to understand it, I think the easy way for a regular person to understand it is if you see a stock, and you see the number up in this green, you think good. If you see a bond market and you see number up in green, that's bad. Okay? If the graph is going up and to the right with a bond, that is bad for the country. That's a very easy way for you to understand. Okay? Up is bad. So it's just reverse. And we had both happen. We had the stock market crashing and the bond yield spiking. And that's the worst of all worlds. That's total financial collapse. So that's why he blinked. That's why he backed down from the tariffs. But not really, right? It's still a 10% worldwide tariff plus China. Again, I talked today with somebody who has a business in LA that employs a lot of people. They make custom lighting fixtures, okay? So they build cool designs for hotels and this person is we buy the bulbs and things from China. And we're just kind of frozen. Right now, we're just trying to wait it out. We pre-ordered some stuff that got here before the tariffs. We're trying to wait it out and hope it goes away. Because if it doesn't, we have to lay off. Essentially, we have to lay off people. I'm not putting words in his mouth, but essentially, they're going to have to lose employees because they're going to have to pay these fucking massive tariffs as they try to find a way around. So it's that's just one example, but that's happening cross country. So many things rely on inputs that are imported elsewhere. Dude, I mean, imagine you're I don't know. I'm just trying to think of an example. Let's say you're a ring maker. You make diamond rings. You make them custom in America, and you import the diamonds from fucking Kenya or something. The idea that you're going to somehow start a diamond mine or a gold mine in America, like putting tariffs on the input costs of things that are built are crazy. There's not even any, you're not even bringing industry back. Why are they doing the pause then? Again, the pause is on the bonus reciprocal tariffs, like the this is the 90-day pause. I want you to understand. The pause is on these except for the China one, these bonus ones. There's still a 10% tariff that's new, that's on everybody. Okay? And a massive one on China. And a question mark here because they said we're going to get rid of them if they didn't retaliate, but the EU did retaliate, so we might have, so it might be a massive tariff on China, a massive tariff on the EU, 10% on everyone else, and it's like, that's normal? No, it's fucking terrible. That's fucking recessionary / depressionary. EU paused? Okay, the EU one's paused, so it's 10% on EU. And then 90 days is for them to find some kind of deal where, you know, somebody can give him something he can call a win. But it's just bad. It's just fucking bad. It is just making the country I live in poorer and lonelier. So I'm not happy with it. The thing I am happy about is that many people are seeing this and reacting appropriately. I think I have a nice piece of data here that I'd like to share with you. Sorry, hold a second. Yeah, here it is. These are both important. So, this one is that, you know, obviously, when people are like, oh, no one will change their mind, they're talking mostly about people who are diehard MAGA. Diehard MAGA people have remained basically the same level of approval. Their mind is like, what? No matter what he does, it's genius and it's brilliant and it'll hold strong. And this is all part of 9D chess. And if the tariffs are on, it's brilliant because it's going to bring jobs here. If the tariffs are off, it was art of the deal. And it was, you know, whatever. Everything's got an answer. But for other Trump 2024 voters, which is like the reason he won, it's plummeting. It's plummeting, dude. This is within first 100 days. It's plummeting. Okay? It's legitimately plummeting. And like people said that wouldn't happen, and I said it would, and it is. It just is happening. People are very receptive to their material conditions. And again, his overall approval, even including that, I think this is it, is also sliding quickly. And again, usually it takes out of the first 100 days for this to slide. Once we get out of 100 days, it's going to go much faster because there's a honeymoon period where most people are like, well, let's see how it goes. You usually get a mulligan for the 100 days. Yeah, we showed this. This was the Wisconsin election that Elon Musk dumped a ton of money into, but it shifted. Okay, every county shifted. People can change their minds. They will change their minds. You know, it's unfortunate that this had to happen to do it, but it is better than the alternative where nobody changes their minds. Imagine if Obama never wore a tan suit. Well, you should see this graph when he did that. It was everything to the right. Obama wearing a tan suit was, I mean, I personally couldn't fucking stand it. I couldn't fucking stand the disgrace to our nation. God, it was a bad day. It was a dark day in our history. It was a fucking dark day in our history. Have you seen the Dude, what is the... Dude, can someone find this for me? I cannot remember. It was a guy out front of the White House dressed as Obama, and he's got his wife there as like holding up a sign saying regular taxpayer, and he's like hitting. Have you seen this? It's like iconic. It's like iconic. Have you seen this? I don't know what it's called or how to find it. Yeah, render unto Obama. Is that what it? Render unto Obama. I think you found it. Is this it?
I need your money to kill babies by abortion. You, taxpayer, give me your money to pay for baby killing.
No, I don't believe in abortion.
I don't care. Render to Caesar what is Caesar's. Give me money to kill babies.
All right, I'll pay you.
Give
Don't
me
hit
the
me
money.
anymore. Please, kill my baby. Kill my baby.
You, kill that woman's baby.
Holy cinema. It tells a story. This is like a Black Mirror episode from this season. It's the same level of subtlety. I'll tell you that. It's the same level of subtlety as the new fucking Black Mirror. Really fucking sneaks up there with the message. Kill my baby, I need a boob job.
Baby, kill my baby.
You, kill that woman's baby.
Implying that somehow abortions are profitable for the woman. That every woman getting an abortion is being handed money to pay for boob jobs.
Yes. Yes.
Cinema, dude. That's fucking powerful shit. That's real fucking art. When Obama dapped up the doctor. God, our country used to have real art, dude. Captain Saber, think of the 4 months. Okay. All right, here's our options. Blueprints or summoning salt into blueprints. I think we could do both. I'd like to see the summoning salt with Chet. It's brand new. He gave me a nice compliment. All right, let's just watch it. Let's watch it. New summoning salt. Let's fucking watch it. Oh, I'm not a manager. Change this. Boom. Let's fucking go. Cinema!
August 4th, 2012. Streaming live on a young website called Twitch.tv, a player is trying to beat perhaps the most famous world record in all of video gaming.
Clint
The
Stevens.
Super Mario 64 120 star world record. It's a competition of how quickly you can collect every star in the most popular
Squeaks.
3D platformer of all time. It's part of a relatively new
It is the
hobby
GOAT.
called speedrunning. 120 star is a prestigious enough record that it's rarely broken at this point. But on this day, one man is determined to do it.
Who is this?
His
This
name
one?
is Siglemic.
Siglemic! What a throwback.
Siglemic has been going at this for a while.
What a
Even
throwback.
today, he's already been streaming for several hours. He makes dozens of attempts at the record, each one dying to mistakes or just being too slow.
Yikes.
But eventually,
Wouldn't happen to me.
he's able to
Or
get
Squeaks.
a fast start. Siglemic collects star after star, displaying incredible movement and other techniques.
Okay.
Thousands of live stream viewers watch in awe as he makes it past 30 stars, then 50.
Do you guys ever feel like that when you're watching my stream, that it's like you're there for a truly once-in-a-lifetime record-breaking moment every single day? Like every single time, it's like absolutely, this is such a crackling energy. Like, holy shit, this is like Siglemic on his fucking tree sentinel.
Then 70. He's pulling far ahead. This is on pace for a new world record. The impressive gameplay continues. Excitement is building. He's doing things that most viewers can't even fathom.
It is fucking awesome.
Minutes away from a new world
Sorry, I'm
record.
not going to pause much. But it is fucking awesome being in a Twitch chat during a record run. If you've ever done it, it's fucking awesome. It does feel fucking cool. I've had it for like Linkus sometimes. I watch him and it's there. And you get to say, I was here and really mean it. And the first half, everyone's just talking bullshit. Like the chat doesn't even care at all. They're not watching. They're not paying attention. But then as you stay good, you stay green or even gold, they start to get more and more serious. And you can watch the crowd. It's like an arena. It feels like an arena. Everyone starts standing up. Everyone starts like, it's so fun. Everyone gets way more locked in. It starts getting cinema. Everyone starts,
record, he arrives at one of the last stars, the Rainbow Ride 100 coin star. This one is super easy. All you have to do is stand still on a magic carpet and collect a few coins. Siglemic does that, and the 117th star appears. All he has to do now is jump up and collect it.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no!
This is the worst way to lose a record. An hour and 41 minutes of beautiful gameplay, and it had all been for nothing.
No, dude.
Siglemic could do some things in Mario 64 that nobody else could. Yet, right here, he could have handed the controller off to anyone,
showing it.
and they would have
They
collected
keep
the star.
showing it.
After finishing the run, Siglemic talked to his stream about what happened.
Like I couldn't even believe it. Like I paused and I was just like looking at it. I just like felt nothing. I don't even know like how long it would take me to get a run like this. Again, it'll probably take a while. I can't believe I threw that kind of run away.
In this moment, Siglemic felt tiny. His best ever chance at the record thrown in the garbage. Sometimes, attempts at greatness end in tragedy. It's a necessary evil. Because if there's never any tragedy, then greatness would feel insignificant.
Oh my god, dude! I'm a legend! Oh my god.
Hey, fire intro!
Oh my god, dude! No way!
Wait, he's adding a little bit of panache. At what point do you guys think Squeaks shows up and dominates? Like, do you think right around here, and then the whole rest of it is just people, is just glazing Squeaks for being the goat of the...
And now, a word from this video's sponsor, Factor. Factor lets you pick from a variety of meals and have them delivered to your door. Just pop it in the microwave and eat it. Factor is a great product if you have a type of diet in mind. If you're on a keto diet, they have higher fat options that are low carb.
Factor!
If you're on a low calorie diet, they have lower calorie options. Different diets are recommended for different
white.
lifestyles, so you should be mindful of how much of each macro you eat in each meal. Luckily, Factor is transparent about the nutritional value of each meal on their website and on the back of each package. Check the daily recommended values to make a plan that's right for you. Factor also has a variety of smoothies, protein shakes, and
I
other
did like
drinks
the
you can
smoothies,
order.
I'll be honest with you.
Once again, you can tailor these
When
to
I
the
was a
type of
Factor
diet you
frog,
wish to follow.
I did like the
High
smoothies.
protein options, higher fat keto options, or fruit smoothie options. Just check the nutrition facts right on their website. To try Factor, head to factor75.com or click the link below and use code 50summoningsalt to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first Factor box. That's code 50summoningsalt at factor75.com to get 50% off plus free shipping on your first box. Thanks to Factor for sponsoring this video.
All right.
Let's start with an overview of the speedrun. Super Mario 64 has a total of 120 stars for you to collect. You only need to collect 70 of them to beat the game, but a full 100% complete.
You want to hear a sweet story?
Super Mario 64 has a total.
When I first played Mario 64 when it came out, don't say no. In 1997, I was 6 years old. My mom had the fucking strategy guide and would sit down with me and help me get every single star. And it took us weeks. And I distinctly remember when I fucking greatest memories as a kid, probably I was 7 at the time. This star, this last star, the red coin star on Bowser in the Dark World. And she had the map out and we were finding the coins. And the last coin, you have to jump over the wall and go under the stairs. And I got it and I popped off. My mom was popping off. And it was such a W moment. And then we got the last star. It was it was the end of a. And that was the last time my mom liked that I played video games. After that game, she hated it. It was an addiction she set up for the rest of her life. But at that time, it was a really wholesome moment.
Total of 120 stars for you to collect. You only need to collect 70 of them to beat the game, but a full 100% completion involves collecting all 120 stars. How do you collect them? Well, the game has 15 levels, and each level contains 7 stars. That accounts for 105 stars, and the remaining 15 come from various locations, scattered throughout the castle, substages like Peach's Slide, and the Bowser levels. Most of the game's stars involve defeating bosses or completing objectives. Each level also has a star you earn from collecting 100 coins, known as the 100 coin star. Once you collect enough stars, you can fight Bowser to earn keys. These keys unlock new sections of the castle. There are 3 main areas. You start in the lobby with its 4 levels, then unlock the basement and its 5 levels, and later unlock upstairs and its 6 levels. Importantly, within each section of the castle, there's a lot of flexibility in the order you can play the levels.
Yeah, it's based. It's a great
While
game.
120 star is at
game.
the forefront of speedrunning today, it certainly didn't start that way. Let's go back to the very beginning. The first sign of 120 star speedrun activity comes from the year 2004 on the speedrunning hub Speed Demos Archive.
Half of you weren't born, right? 2004? Maybe you were born, but young. Like 2 or 1. I was 1 month, 6 years, 6'1", -2. Not born. I was in high school. Okay. You were in high school in 2004. Joe Biden, is that you?
Keep in mind, Super Mario 64 was just 8 years old at this point. Various people created forum threads asking what a 120 star speedrun would look like, hoping somebody would be willing to try it. 2 speedrunners took up the task, Spider-Man 88mil and Jason. Their runs were unrecorded, but they posted updates in forum threads, trading the record back and forth throughout 2004. Finally, in December, Spider-Man 88mil got a record he was happy with.
He's the first one.
2 hours, 58 minutes, and 49
seconds. It's actually really impressive.
He recorded it on VHS, and across the next 21 years, that footage survived. Let's take a look at the earliest recorded 120 star speedrun.
He found the VHS?
The first thing to notice is the movement. Spider-Man 88mil did a lot of long jumps, performed by pressing Z and then jumping. This is one of the fastest ways of moving through the game.
Oh god.
Faster than just running. Then there's the routing. The order of collecting all 120 stars is important. You don't want to waste time backtracking, for instance. There's a couple basic rules he followed. He always collected all 7 of a level's stars before heading to the next level.
Okay.
And he generally completed all levels in an area before moving on. These rules helped ensure he made it through as fast as possible. Now, as for the gameplay itself, parts of it were pretty impressive for such an early run. For instance, to save time on the Lil Penguin Lost Star, he jumped over
That's
the
the
edge
trick
and
I
landed
learned!
right where he needed to be, rather than sliding
In
down the slopes.
2004.
In Womp's Fortress, instead
That's
of using
how I
the
do
cannon, he cleverly used a side flip to reach the chute into the Wild Blue Star. Little strategies like these were used throughout the 3-hour run, saving him
All my
small
tech is
amounts
from
of time over
2004.
a casual playthrough. But certain sections made it quite clear that this was an early speedrun. He died 4 times and played very slowly in other parts, not at all like a modern run. Perhaps the most infamous moment came in Shifting Sandland, when he just couldn't quite reach the star in the pyramid.
Not bad.
It's silly to think of such moments being
Squeak's
in a world
Gameplay
record
Live
today, but in
2024.
2004, things were bound to happen.
It's funny that 20 years later, Squeaks emulates this perfectly. He's like almost doing an homage to the great runners before him. That's awesome.
Across a 3-hour speedrun. Spider-Man 88 Mil received lots of praise for his record. Most had never seen a run of the game like this before, and although they could see its imperfections, they were impressed to see such a high level of gameplay mostly
2004
sustained
tech.
across 3 hours.
2004
Interestingly,
tech.
Jason realized after watching the run that he'd sort of already beaten it. He'd played on the PAL version of the game, which runs at 5/6 the speed of the NTSC version that Spider-Man 88 Mil played on.
That's an homage to the fact that European brains run 5/6 the speed of American ones, in case you were wondering. They can't keep up if you do the normal, so you have to slow it down a little bit. So, anyway, that's what I heard from my main man.
So, Jason's 316 would have been timed as a 244 on NTSC, but since it was both unrecorded and played on PAL, it didn't count, and Spider-Man 88 Mil had the official world record. After 2004, we enter a strange period of 120 Stars history. Much of this era has been lost to time, but here's what we do know. Throughout 2005 and 2006, a number of new 120 Star speedruns were submitted to Speed Demo's archive, and every single one was rejected by the site admins. Why? Well, speedrun verification on Speed Demo's archive worked differently back then. They only wanted high-quality speedruns on their website, both in video quality and quality of gameplay. So even if someone submitted a run that was fast enough for a new record, admins could reject it if they felt you could do better. And that happened repeatedly with 120 Star. Multiple runs were submitted to SDA that beat Spider-Man.
I could sort of see it if the quality was so bad you can't verify. So fucking funny to reject it for being like, nah, you could do better than this. You could do better than this. It's a world record, but try harder, little pup.
88 Mil. But since the site admins already had a 120 Star run, and they weren't overly impressed by the new runs, they rejected them. That's baffling insane concept today, but it was the norm back then. It's unknown how many times this occurred, but we know it happened twice to a player known as Amoeba2. In May 2005, he submitted a 254, and in February 2006, he submitted a 247. Both were rejected from SDA.
That's crazy.
There are also rumors that a player named Ikanaki got a time of 242, but without video proof. Fortunately, this period in history wouldn't last long, because then in 2006, a new player appeared on the forums, intrigued about the possibility of completing a 120 Star run. His name was Dragorn. Dragorn had a different approach. He didn't want to just beat the run on the site, a 258.49. He wanted to demolish it, leaving no chance for his run to be rejected. His goal was to take more than 40 minutes off the record and get a sub 215. Dragorn himself wasn't sure if this was possible, but he got community members excited. Many of them tried to help out, even if their computers limited them. Members from all over the site, who played all different games, eagerly awaited Dragorn's run. Even Spider-Man 88 Mil joined the thread, saying that he felt sub 230 was possible, but not sub 215.
It's not possible.
Over the next few months, Dragorn posted his progress learning the speedrun. He borrowed many strategies from the existing 70-star record and looked at coin routes from Curtis Bright's Mario 64 website. Finally, after months of practice, Dragorn posted that he'd completed a run. 2 hours, 19 minutes, and 47 seconds. The community was amazed that he'd taken half an hour off the record like it was nothing. But
the Dragorn
there was no video posted. It was hard to upload long videos in 2006, and Dragorn felt he could still lower the time a bit more. So, rather than mail in this VHS tape to SDA, he'd wait for the best run he could get. Dragorn kept improving, and his updates in the forum thread continued. A week later, he posted a 2:18:07. People started trash-talking the 2:58 run currently on the site, knowing that Dragorn had crushed it. A few weeks later, another update. He was now in the 2:16 range.
Ooh.
Finally, in early September, Dragorn posted his newest time, 2:14:32, with 0 deaths.
He did it. He did it.
This accomplished his sub 2:15 goal, but he was still unsatisfied. He'd been playing since January, and was at the very top of his skills now. Could he do even better if he kept going? Well, Dragorn continued his attempts, and a few days later, he posted one final update in the forums, 2:10:40, a time that even he thought was impossible. Dragorn submitted the run to SDA, and everyone got it.
Rejected. You could do better. Sub 2, come on, bitch ass. Rejected.
Excited. Nowadays, you can watch a run as soon as it happens, but back then you had to wait for it to be published, and there was a huge sense of anticipation. It was finally accepted and posted on the site a couple weeks later. At long last, all these members who'd been tracking his progress over the past 9 months were able to watch Dragorn's masterpiece. We see improvements right from the opening seconds of the run. Dragorn goes for and hits a trick called Lakitu Skip.
Sheesh.
When you walk on the bridge to enter the castle, Lakitu stops you to explain how the camera works. But if you only touch the very edge of the bridge, you never hit the trigger for the cutscene and are able to skip it. This only saves about 10 seconds, but the fact that Dragorn hits it is a sign of what's to come.
Yeah.
In Bob-omb Battlefield, he gets a trick called Bomb Clip, albeit a different version than what's done in runs today. By taking the Bob-omb to the corner of the gate, then jumping as it explodes, you'll get pushed behind the gate and are free to collect.
Wait, I never knew that. I want to learn. I want to do that. The new bomb clip's too fucking hard. That one looks way easier. That looks way easier.
Much faster than having to use the chomp. In general, there was much less playing it safe, and more tricks used to shave seconds off here and there. In Cool Cool Mountain, he quickly dropped down to the wall kicks will work star instead of slowly floating down like the old record.
That's the go.
In Dire Docks, instead of using the slow poles to collect red coins, he did a series of difficult jumps to reach the platforms.
That's so swag.
This was a true speedrun. There were strategies, there were tricks, there were things you would not see in a normal playthrough. And importantly, Dragorn completed the entire run without dying. This was all everyone was hoping for and more. Dragorn stepped away from Mario 64 for good after this. Before he left, he posted a comment talking about the future of 120-star speedruns. He felt that a 2:09 was right around the human limit. A sub 2-hour speedrun was completely out of the question.
Okay, one thing, even speedrunners are always fucking terrible about knowing the human limit. They all...
After Dragorn's run, the SDA community lost interest in 120-star, as well as most other Mario 64 categories. Throughout the rest of 2006, 2007, and 2008, Dragorn's record stood unchallenged.
Damn, a 4-year run?
Then, in 2009, a new Super Mario 64 community popped up.
3-year run?
But this time, it was in Japan. Prior to now, 120-star hadn't seen competition from this part of the world. But in 2009, a group of runners from Japan started streaming speedruns to Nico Nico, a site that let you both live stream and upload videos. This new community turned into the best speedrunners the game had ever seen. They were aware of Dragorn's 120-star record on SDA and set that as their goal time to beat. Once they blew past that record, they competed against each other to take the 120-star record as low as possible. How did they do it? Well, on SDA, all the runners had to go off of was their own records. But by 2009, this new community had a great advantage. They had the SDA videos, plus their own live streams, a thriving community filled with players, competitive single-star leaderboards, and more.
Yeah.
Runners were able to better collaborate, and it led to way more optimization than the game had seen previously. However, there are a couple caveats about their runs. For one thing, Nico didn't save livestream recordings over 30 minutes long, so the majority of records from this time period are lost. A few videos did survive, and we'll talk about those in a minute, but most records only exist as text on a web page. And then there's the other caveat: version differences. All early runs of the game were played on Nintendo 64. However, by 2009, it was very possible to play the game on an emulator.
Ooh,
while Speed Demo's
so much
archive
nicer.
expressly prohibited the use of emulators, that wasn't a universal rule. And over in Japan, the Mario 64 speedrunning community was essentially starting from scratch. They decided to allow emulators for speedrun solutions.
Yeah, they're so nice.
And as it turns out, there's a key difference between emulator and console runs. An emulator has much faster load times and much less lag than a Nintendo 64. The time adds up quickly. Over the course of a 2-hour run, an emulator picks up about a full minute compared to an original console.
Yeah, but
That
so
means
what?
emulator runners have a roughly 60-second advantage. Players in Japan couldn't agree if they should prioritize original hardware or the fastest version available, so there was high-level competition on both. For the next year and a half, the majority of world records were set on emulator, and most were set by one player, Honey. He repeatedly lowered his time down from 2:05 down to 2 hours flat
nicer.
before finally achieving a 1:59:20. On Nintendo 64, this time would be a full minute slower. But remember, Dragorn's best run on console was a 2:10, so this 1:59 was in a class of its own. How was Honey able to save so much time over Dragorn's run, which was itself considered excellent when it was achieved? Well, luckily, Honey's 1:59 is one of the few runs from this period with surviving video.
Nice.
So we're actually able to see it, and it is nothing short of incredible. Once again, we'll start with the movement. Honey used more than just long jumps to move around quickly.
That
He
was
mixed
mad.
in dives and rollouts to move a little bit faster. This may have saved a second or two per star, but across the whole run, this adds up to multiple minutes of time save. Beyond the movement, Honey went for numerous faster
Also the
strategies
groove.
that were riskier than what Dragorn did, and showed off a higher level of gameplay overall. For instance, in Bob on Battlefield, you're intended to open the cannon and launch up to the big island in the sky,
Yeah.
which is what Dragorn did. Instead, Honey gained speed off the slope, then did a triple jump with the wing cap to fly and make it up top.
Yeah.
Quite a bit more impressive
That's
looking.
sick.
In Womp's Fortress, he went for and hit Owlless, a very precise trick where you must triple jump and kick off the side
Yeah.
of the cage, then land back inside to collect the star. It only saves a few
That is the one speedrunning trick Ludwig knows. He doesn't even know it that well, and it's all he could fucking. That's all he fucking talks about is owl is. You know what's cooler is owl full, or cannon full in my case. Okay.
seconds over using
Cannon
the
full is
owl
what a
to
real
hop in,
fucking
but this is
master
the level of
gamer
execution
does.
that Honey could pull off. Another example of strategy improvement is how he handled the level Hazy Mazy Casey Cave, or HMC for short. This level has many different rooms, but there's no ceiling, so if you can get high enough to clear the walls, then you can quickly jump from room to room. For instance, by side flipping and kicking off the wall in the elevator room, Honey was able to clear the wall and make it to the swimming beast in the cavern star. He did similar tricks all through HMC to save 2 minutes over Dragorn. This type of gameplay continued even upstairs during some of the game's hardest levels. Just about the only major flaw was a death in the Wing Mario over the Rainbow Star, which kicked him all the way outside the castle. Despite that, it finished 11 minutes faster than Dragon's
Why are we even
SDA
talking
run.
about this?
One of those minutes came from emulator time saves, but the other 10 were legit. Just better gameplay across the entire run. Over the next few months, the 120-star record underwent a period of rapid
I can do better,
improvements.
easy.
These new runners were all pushing each other, breaking new ground and seeing just how far their talent could take them. Remember, 120-star speedruns were still pretty novel, and as much skill as they took, there was room to optimize them more. Throughout 2010, there were several more records set on both emulator and console. Batora, Honey, and Natoshin Elmo traded the record back and forth, although no video exists for any of their runs. Finally, 7 months after the last record with surviving video, we're able to see another one. 156.17 on console by a runner named Shigeru.
Miyamoto
When
himself?
accounting for emulator time difference, this run was 4 minutes faster.
Holy fuck, Miyamoto showed up to show the kids he's still the goat of his own game?
The last record with video.
That's aura.
That's a lot of progression over just 7 months. Shigeru's biggest strength was his movements, which can be seen in the Bowser stages.
It's because he knows the
These
game.
levels have
Whoa!
objects that move on cycles, like
That was
elevators
a sick
and moving
fucking
platforms.
flip to get that great coin
In
without...
Bowser in the Dark World, Shigeru's movement collecting the 8 red coins was fast enough to make an earlier cycle, which is still known today as Shigeru Cycle.
That's fucking
He also
badass.
saved time by going for front sub in Dire Dire Docks. Boarding from the front has more lag and is more precise than boarding from the back, but it is faster, and Shigeru nailed it. He avoided dying on the Wing Mario over the Rainbow Star, and was just a little bit cleaner overall than what we saw 7 months ago. Then, in the summer of 2010, due to concerns over cheating, the Japanese community decided to split the leaderboards for 120 star. Emulator runs would have one leaderboard, and console runs would have another.
Okay.
This led to the community starting to prioritize console runs, and most runners began to switch away from emulator. By late 2010, pretty much all top runners were playing on console, and directly competed against Shigeru's 156 world record. The next several months were more of the same. Elmo set a new world record time of 155.42. Later in December, Batora got a 154 and then a 152. All these runs were on console, with no more controversy over which platform was best.
Okay.
In early 2011, Natoshin Elmo got a 151.
Isn't this kind of like when I got the bald percent record in Get to Work? Sort of setting an unbreakable high standard in a way. And it's like that Squeaks has yet to beat, despite winning stupid one-off races. He has never actually beaten my PB.
Honey beat him back with a 150 before Natoshin Elmo came through with a 149.49.
This is easier than
This
bald
was the
percent.
first ever sub 150 in Mario 64 history, and remains one of its most popular records, with 12 million views on YouTube. But there's not too much to add about these runs. They didn't incorporate anything revolutionary. It was all about cleaner execution and fewer mistakes. Honey's 149 in particular was a masterpiece of consistency. Over the past year, these runners have been pushing each other to minimize mistakes and execute all strategies cleanly. And Honey's 149 was viewed as the pinnacle, the most consistent run the game had ever seen. This was a vibrant, active group that had transformed the way 120-star speedruns were done. The amount of new
When
tricks,
did the Americans get
the
involved?
incredible movement, they just kept finding ways to take the record lower. The Japanese community formed 2 years earlier, and in that time they'd taken the world record down by 21 minutes.
That's beast.
During that entire period, nobody outside of Japan was competitive for the 120-star record. The last relevant Western player was Dragorn back in 2006. Now, 5 years later, that was still the fastest time outside of Japan.
That's crazy.
While games like Super Mario Bros. And Ocarina of Time were growing and thriving, 120-star had essentially been abandoned by the West. But that was about to change.
The West has fallen. America!
In 2010, a website called Speedruns Live became popular. Speedruns Live allowed you to race a game head-to-head against anybody.
ROM Scout. I worked with that guy at Twitch. He was the head of speedrunning. Romscout's the GOAT, dude. He had such a fucking stellar speedrunning record and then became a speedrunning advocate and then worked at Twitch. He's fucking awesome. I didn't even know he had a fucking any percent record in Super Mario World. That's crazy.
It kept track of your time and declared a winner at the end.
Why is there a head of speedrunning? Dude, Twitch when I was there, like the early years of when I was there, like 2014, 15, 16, they really invested in partnerships because Twitch was still growing. So they would hire a head of like every group that liked to stream. There'd be like a head of poker and a head of Smash Bros. And a head of everything but League of Legends. Dude, at one point, we had 2 Smash Bros. Hires and 0 League of Legends hires. And the website was like 80% League of Legends. It was actually fucking stupid. But we had, like Mike Ross for fighting games. And that person's job was to go out and make sure that all these people streamed on Twitch. And if they had problems, they would be like the contact point. So it's like, oh, you have this idea for a tournament. We'll run it on Twitch. Oh, you want to, you're really well respected as this person in this community. Well, you should stream more. Everyone will watch it. Like they got Mango to stream on Twitch, right? It was like, he's a big guy in Smash Bros. Stream on Twitch. That was the idea. And I think it was really cool, especially to work there, because you're surrounded by all these gaming legends from different communities. Like being able to like talk about Street Fighter with Mike Ross and then talk about speedrunning with Romscout. It's like fucking sick. But then Twitch like thought it was a waste of money. Started cutting back on that whole program.
Speedrunners loved using it, and by late 2010, a group of runners were regularly racing Super Mario 64. They learned fast strategies to collect all the stars and pushed each other to get better. While their times weren't impressive at first, their frequent races allowed them to improve quickly. By 2011, a few of them had gotten good. Really good. To the point of starting to rival the amazing players over in Japan. 3 players rose above the rest. Their names were Giano, Sicko, and Siglemic. By mid-2011, through repeated races against each other, they all managed to get personal bests in the low 150s, just a few minutes behind the world record. All 3 players were roughly equal in skill. They raced every week, and it was a mix of who came out on top. But that gradually changed. Over time, one player came out on top more often. By the summer of 2011, the winner of the majority of these races was Siglemic. He took the game more seriously.
Kind of like me, Ludwig, and Stans when it comes to Monkey Ball, you know? Just over time. Over time, there was like one emerging.
Seriously, he practiced more often. After setting a personal best of 151.15 in June.
I've been going on Stans' stream in the morning and playing Tricky Towers with him, and I'm getting absolutely fucked. And he's not playing outside of stream at all, and I am. Like, I put in like 4 hours off stream to play Tricky Towers because I was enjoying the game, and he's cooking me. It's actually fucked up. It's actually fucked up.
Siglemic started to feel that he had a chance to take the record. He grinded for weeks, playing for hours nearly every single day. His time started to approach the record shockingly fast. It took him just months to get times that took most runners years. It was exciting to watch him improve, and many were rooting for him. If he could pull this off, it'd be the first record outside of Japan in half a decade. And then, on July 23rd, 2011, it happened. Siglemic got a 149.05, a new world record by 44 seconds. Siglemic did one notable thing in this run that really exemplifies his playstyle. He chose to play Womp's Fortress early, right after collecting the first star. This was so he could go for a trick called Cannonless. You're intended to get the Blast Away the Wall star by launching out of the cannon, breaking the wall, and revealing the star. However, it's possible to run at the wall from above, then ledge grab, which pushes Mario's hitbox above where he appears. It intersects with the star, and you collect it without having to get in the cannon. This
Shout out to Clint Stevens teaching me this trick in 30 minutes before I have to do a speedrunning race with Simply. That shit was gas. That's an iconic video.
Trick is extremely precise. You can run at the wall all you want, and usually you won't ledge grab. So, Siglemic chose to go for this trick very early in the run. If he missed it too many times, then he'd just reset, not having wasted too much time.
You can still do it
In this
easily.
new record, he got cannonless quickly, setting him off to a great start. But here's the weird thing. Beyond this, while the run was fantastic, some who watched it felt it wasn't quite as impressive as the previous record. Siglemic made more mistakes, his movement wasn't quite as good. It's what you'd expect from someone who'd been running the game for under a year. But his time was faster than Elmo's run. There was no denying it. Something wasn't adding up. Now, most in Japan respected Speed Demo's archive, and when Siglemic's run was posted to the site, they immediately took notice. But instead of being wowed by Siglemic's achievement, many of them were upset. And they had a good reason.
Why?
See, Siglemic didn't play on an emulator, but he also didn't play on a Nintendo 64. He played on the Wii Virtual Console. This version was what many Western speedrunners played on at the time. It was cheap if you already owned a Wii, and easier than a Nintendo 64. It also just happened to save a full 2 minutes from reduced loads and lag. That meant if Siglemic's run was played on an original console like Elmo's, it probably would have been a 151.
Trash.
That's a fair distance from the record. Siglemic's run was objectively worse. The only reason it was faster was because of Virtual Console. Now, Japan had a Virtual Console version too, but it was much slower than the US version.
Why?
So if a Japanese runner wanted to compete with Siglemic,
What a
they'd
pain
either
in
have
the
to do
ass.
so with a 2-minute disadvantage, or import an American Wii, which was very expensive and
All part of our plan. USA, baby. USA, baby. You're a Japanese company, but you need an American Wii.
overall difficult at the time.
That's part of the deal.
This could have caused a massive controversy. Runners from all over the world playing on different versions, it would have been a mess. But Siglemic knew he could...
Someone said, holy shit, Trump is playing the long con. This was all part of Donald's plan. I knew I wasn't crazy. I was beginning to feel like I was foolish for supporting him. But now I know it was actually fucking... The setup was crazy.
could put an end to this right now. When Honey explained how hard it would be to beat his Virtual Console run, Siglemic responded, "Okay, I'll play on the Nintendo 64 going forward." And just like that, the matter was settled. All the top runners in Japan and the top runner in America would all play on Nintendo 64.
Wow, that was big of him.
To this day, top-level Mario 64 competition is nearly exclusively done on Original Console.
That's crazy.
Over the next few months, Siglemic practiced and adjusted to the Nintendo 64, while Japanese runners continued to excel. That fall, Honey beat the record twice, first with a 149.25, then a 148.50. But in November, a new runner from Japan took over, Nero, and he became the first to implement a crazy trick at the start of the run, LBLJ. Bear with me for a moment, because this is a strange one. In Super Mario 64, there's a trick used in various categories called the backwards long jump, where you build up reverse speed by repeatedly long jumping backwards. Now, LBLJ stands for Lobby Backwards Long Jump. By jumping into an out-of-bounds area accessible from the basement, you can repeatedly BLJ into the basement's ceiling, which extends upward. You land in a black area right outside the front door with a lot of speed built up, then rotate the camera to help navigate Mario toward the 8-star door and through it. What's the benefit of this? Well, you normally have to collect the first star of the run in Bob-on Battlefield, but you can't collect all the stars there until you have the wing cap, unlocked at 10 stars. This means you have to eventually backtrack to Bob-on Battlefield once you have the wing cap. With LBLJ, you collect the first star in Bowser in the Dark World, eliminating the need to backtrack and saving
Sorry, I was chuckling because I have my own unique way of doing backwards long jumps that true fans know about. And it's a little different. It's a little off the wall. It's kind of like the Joker to Siglemic's Batman. But it is, in a way, iconic and better.
10 seconds. It's a hard trick for not a huge time save, but Nero was good at it and pioneered it in 120-star runs.
Clint called it unique.
Ever since Siglemic's
That's
virtual
true. Clint
console
called it
run,
unique.
the Japanese community had picked up where they left off, continuing to improve and lower the record.
Sorry, we have to just do a quick refresher.
Not that clutch.
Okay, that was something. Please tell me Atrioc's fucking up BLJs.
Dude, look at this. All right, BLJs. Great skip.
The editing's not so good. Huh?
Wait, he did the skip too?
Yeah, lost a lot of time on that.
He prepared for this.
What?
It works. It works.
It's gonna work. It's gonna work.
No way. There's no shot.
Okay, now this is a little embarrassing.
It works.
This is
It
a little
works.
embarrassing.
Trust.
He actually does it again.
No! He's not doing a thing where he leaves and goes back. Oh, I'm gonna piss myself.
Dude.
This is like having a Ferrari and then getting out and running
trust.
it. Oh, that's the fucking funniest thing I've ever seen. Come on, bro. You need to get it this time. He's only two stars away.
It's gonna work.
Let's fucking go! I get it, okay? And it got done, and I ended up winning the damn thing. Okay? Thank you, Clint Stevens. Greatest coach the world's ever seen.
Honey and Nero had each beaten the record twice, shaving 2 minutes off the time. Meanwhile, Siglemic practiced hard on Nintendo 64, trying to catch up to the runners in Japan. He got better, soon surpassing where he was on Virtual Console.
I understand it now.
After months of practicing, he once again set his sights on the record. In late 2011, Siglemic started live streaming his attempts to break the 120-star world record. He streamed to a brand new website called Twitch.tv.
Go Twitch days.
And something strange happened. His live stream went viral. Many people had never seen Mario 64 speedruns before, and were captivated by Siglemic's level of gameplay. It was a novel concept to play the game like this, and seeing a potential world record
really
live
cool
was
time.
exciting. His Twitch stream grew quickly. After a couple months, he was regularly pulling thousands of viewers. His community was determined to see him reclaim the record, loyally watching him play for hours and hours. The hype continued to build, while Siglemic continued to close in on the record. And it all culminated in a run just after Christmas 2011. Siglemic played a bit differently than Nero. He didn't go for LBLJ, but overall executed tricks a little faster. He hit Cannonless, got the fast cycle in Fire Sea that Nero missed, and went for a risky triple jump off the fin in Dire Doc's hunting point. After all this, Siglemic made it upstairs 25 seconds ahead of the record. Hype was building in the chat as the viewer count climbed into the thousands. The fast execution continued upstairs. His practice for the past few months paid off. He closed out the last few levels, defeated Bowser, and broke the world record in front of 4,500 viewers. This record made Siglemic an internet phenomenon. Threads appeared on all different forums. News articles were written.
We got
Everyone
4,500
wanted
right
to hear
now.
about the man who'd
Holy
broken
shit.
the world record live
And then 13 years later, there'd be 4,500 people watching the reaction to the summoning salt video of him breaking it.
on stream. Siglemic had escaped from the niche of speedrunning and entered mainstream pop culture. It was the most attention speedrunning had ever received before. Many wondered how they could get involved, while others were happy to have just witnessed it live. After all was said and done, Siglemic was satisfied and stopped playing 120 star. So, the Japanese community was able to take over once again. The three top runners in the world were Siglemic, Honey, and Nero. So it was only fitting that once Siglemic broke the record, Honey and Nero quickly followed suit. In March of 2012, Honey got a 147.05, then Nero got a 146.35, both new world records. So, the ball was back in Siglemic's court. He resumed streaming attempts to take back the record, but this time he ran into some serious adversity.
Dude, this is
Throughout
every fucking speedrunner, dude. I mean, I did this too. You get the record, you go, okay, that's it for me. I'm gonna end on top, and then someone beats it, and you're like, well, I just spent thousands of hours playing. I might as well keep trying. So you go back to grinding. You don't actually get out. You have to.
The spring and summer of 2012, Siglemic streamed often, but he wasn't able to break through. He was still getting a lot of viewers, captivating the attention of speedrunning fans everywhere. Yet, this time, they weren't rewarded with a new record. Siglemic was in a unique spot. He had an enormous live stream, played the most popular speedrun, and he really wanted to reclaim the record. So, that summer, he devised a plan. A plan that, to this day, remains a famous part of speedrunning history.
What?
The August Marathon. Throughout August 2012, Siglemic was going to stream for 12 hours a day, every single day, and hopefully lower the world record as much as he could.
So bad for your
Siglemic's
body.
August Marathon is a legend from the old days of speedrunning. Unlike his previous streams, Siglemic put splits on the screen, so viewers could follow along and see exactly how far
He
ahead or
innovated
behind
that?
he was. The splits in his gameplay on stream were enough to keep viewers captivated. Despite hardly talking at all,
I didn't know he
not even
innovated
using a microphone for extended periods, viewers poured into these streams. Every day, he'd regularly have a few thousand viewers as
That's
a baseline.
fire.
When he got on world record pace,
That's
he'd go
fire.
up.
If bro was pulling fucking 3.5, 4K viewers, no mic, chat entertaining themselves, dude. If I tried to play AOE no mic, I would have like 30 people in here.
To 7,000,
That's
8,000,
crazy. Back
even
then,
10,000 viewers or more.
Siglemic was the.
And keep in mind, this was back in the year
goated.
2012.
That's goated. That's unreal.
Despite the speedrunning community being much larger today, these types of numbers are practically impossible for a modern speedrunner to achieve. Today's viewing base is divided between...
Was that me? Was that me? For modern speedrunner to achieve? Wait, I'm the fucking clip for fucking getting viewership mogged? What the fuck? Why am I the clip for getting viewership mogged? That's how I get into a summoning saw video? I'll watch this again, wait.
Despite the speedrunning community being much larger today, these types of numbers are practically impossible for a modern speedrunner to achieve.
Modern speedrunner, you heard it here first. Take it back. I'm a modern speedrunner. Yes, yes, yes. Officially recognized modern speedrunner by Summoning Salt. Thank you very much. Thank you. And as I am currently having speedrunning content on stream and pulling 4,600 viewers, so I think I am actually sort of setting. I'm like a modern Siglemic in a way. I like that the idea of modern speedrunner is a clip of me from 4 years ago. And I had just learned the run from Clint. I'm on a fucking 30-minute 16-star pace.
Today's viewing base is divided between hundreds or even thousands of streamers playing
Dude,
live.
why the fuck would you show my Mario clip and not my Hitman clip? If you're doing something from years ago and it's modern speedrunner, why the fuck is that? Why is it me fucking struggling at Mario? And I pulled pretty good viewership on the Hitman records.
At the same time. But in 2012, Siglemic was one of only a few speedrunning streamers, and he was playing an iconic game at the highest level. It was a perfect storm of conditions that often led to a viewer count above 10,000, one of the biggest live streamers in the world. They didn't care about a face cam, a microphone, or any of that.
Damn, the good old days.
They just wanted to see an amazing player
when Twitch was all
destroy their
gamers.
video game. There's only one problem. Many years ago, Siglemic deleted all of his Mario 64 gameplay from Twitch and YouTube, meaning his August Marathon has very little surviving footage.
Are you sure he deleted it, or did fucking Twitch say, oh, it's not a highlight, you're out of highlight space, and they fucking auto-deleted it? Are we sure it was actually him? Did he get angry and delete it, or was it actually just fucking... Oh, he did it? Ah, sad, tragic.
Thankfully, a few of his viewers were recording his stream during some of his good runs, and certain full runs were downloaded before they were deleted from
Thank
YouTube.
God.
But still, much of his August marathon is completely lost to time.
That's tragic.
That being said, here's what we do know about the marathon. Cyclemic started on August 1st, and for the first 3 days, nothing notable happened. But then on August 4th, he got a run that you're familiar with.
Oh, that's the one where he misses the jump? Dude, he's shown this clip
It
like
happened
40
in front
times.
of 8,000 viewers
40
during
times.
his August marathon. He had to come out of his crouch
Dude,
before
I'll show it
jumping,
again.
then messed up his angle toward the star. As painful as this was, Cyclemic was at the top of his game, and with daily 12-hour streams, there was
rubbing
no
it in.
doubt he'd get another chance soon. Sure enough, on day 5 of the marathon, he got another run on record pace. Not quite as fast as what he had yesterday, though. He made mistakes upstairs, but nothing catastrophic. And after 5 days, 60 hours of streaming, Cyclemic managed to break through.
Beast
Oh my
mode.
god, that was really the world record.
14,000 viewers had just witnessed a new world record.
That's awesome.
Once again, the news made it around the internet. But this was only August 5th. He still had more than 3 weeks to go. His record was 146.23. If he could clean up
14K
mistakes in
no
Tiny
mic is
Huge Island
legendary.
and Rainbow
That's
Ride,
legendary.
a 145 was within his reach.
Is there anybody nowadays pulling 14K no mic, no cam, pure gameplay? Anyone? Lyric has mic. Germa has mic. I mean, it has to be somebody pure gameplay. Elon is the only one. Doesn't Elon have a cam? All the Elon footage I see is him on the cam and chat spamming, he'll die alone. He'll die alone and unloved. Also, you're fucking bad at the game. That's what I see him getting fucking DM'd constantly. Ashley St. Clair. No, I think there isn't anybody nowadays. I'm not even kidding. Is there any, like, Twitch doesn't even have that level of, like, in 2012, it's all fucking hardcore gamers. Isn't that sort of like an esport? Esports have commentators, and I'm just thinking of, like, the idea you could go live and play Mario, no mic, no cam, and be so good at it that there's 14,000 people watching. I don't know. That's crazy. Does ZFG count? What does he stream? I think they have mic.
Not much happened on day 6, but on day 7, Cyclemic set another new record, 146.21.
Actually, how much does Faker get? I think I've seen Faker go live and play League of Legends and not talk to chat at all. He might have a cam, but it's like, it's so gameplay focused. I think he gets something around that. Cadril streamed his Challenger run, no mic, no cam, and it hit 10K. Yeah, maybe Cadril. Maybe, does Grubby do no mic, no cam Warcraft 3? No, I think he has cam, Mike. Tyler won chess. That didn't get 14K, but yeah, there was like a Tyler One chess account that was just spectating his games with no, and that did pretty well, right? That was like 1,000. Offline LUD games had a couple thousand. Oh yeah, offline LUD League of Legends. Yeah, it is occasional. It's not 100% dead, but I feel like this is truly impressive.
Just a 2-second improvement. Unfortunately, no footage of this run survives today. All we have are a couple screenshots from the end of the run, showing his splits and the chat that was popping off. The August Marathon was already a huge success. In only a week, Siglemik had broken the record twice and had the attention of the entire speedrunning community. Still 24 days to go. The 12-hour streams continued, and just 2 days later, something genuinely shocking happened. The 145 was achieved by Honey. While all eyes were on Siglemik, Honey had been doing 120-star runs
he got
too.
mocked during his own
Not quite as
marathon.
much, but still several hours per day. The final time was 1:45:41, and the video still exists in its entirety. The most notable part was a new trick he went for called Pillarless.
This is crazy.
Normally, to enter the top of the pyramid, you must reach the top of all 4 pillars to cause the pyramid's top to fly off. Pillarless is a complicated trick that skips this. You throw and re-grab a bob-omb just before it explodes, pushing Mario backwards, then enter a state called hands-free holding and carefully navigate inside the top of the pyramid. It's very risky to go for in a long 120-star speedrun. Beyond that, Honey didn't add anything new. He simply played very consistently, especially in Rainbow Ride where Siglemik had struggled so much. Siglemik was a good sport about being beaten. After all, he had 22 days left to beat him back.
Sure.
Surely that would be enough time, right?
Oh no, Pepe laugh.
Well, it took him 3 hours. This run too has become lost to time, but on the same evening as Honey's record, Siglemik beat him with a 1:45:35.
Damn.
We have but one screenshot of this run, showing 7,300 viewers.
The chat. Yeah, the urn. Nice. Wow, wow, wow. Grat Sig. America, America, America. Fastest record recovery ever? What? LOL? Another easy WR for Siggy. Sig, what's it like breaking world records every day? I didn't even sleep.
Losing their mind in the chat. Very little is known about the run itself. Judging by his splits, there was a major time loss in Shifting Sandland, and he capitalized on time save in Rainbow Ride. In just the first 9 days of his August marathon, Siglemik had set 2 records, been beaten, and then reclaimed the record. He couldn't have asked for a more exciting start. These 12-hour streams continued every day for the rest of the month, with thousands of viewers watching at all times. But over the final 22 days of August, he didn't set any new records. While we have a poor account of these remaining 22 days, Siglemik was known to have had some close calls. On August 23rd, he had a beautiful run.
Brutal.
All this info comes from a single post on Reddit.
12 hours a day.
He seems to have had a
day.
modest lead, got a huge time save in Shifting Sandland, then gained more time upstairs. He was about a minute ahead of his 1:45:35.
Holy shit! My old boss!
A mid 1:44. But
Fish, dude, look! That's my boss. I just saw him. That's my old boss at Twitch. Fish Sticks 1. Dang, that's crazy. He was probably typing this in chat and then going to reprimand me for playing Melee. That's crazy.
But something went horribly wrong in Rainbow Ride. These sorts of paces happened multiple times through the rest of August. The month ended with no new records, but it felt like a 1:44 was right on the doorstep.
That's crazy.
Even though the daily 12-hour streams were done, Siglemik was still motivated. And right on cue, on September 1st, he came through with the first ever 1:44.
Beast.
This record is notable for being one of very few records from Siglemik that survived in its entirety. We can watch it from start to finish. And a pretty significant change in this run is Siglemik's route through the lobby. He played Cool Mountain later, then saved Jolly Roger Bay as the last level before going upstairs. This worked out well, as despite falling off the sub in Dire Docks, he opened up a 44-second lead over the record. He used the same route upstairs, which had been standard for quite some time now. Wet Dry World first, followed by Tiny Huge Island, Tall Mountain, and Snowman's Land, then up to Tippy for Tick-Tock Clock and Rainbow Ride. Of these levels, Tiny Huge Island was a bit slow at times, especially on the 100 coin star. But the key to success in 120 star is consistency, and Siglemik avoided any huge mistakes. It's what he needed to get a 144.52.
Goated?
And once again, the record blew up online. Forum threads, blog posts, par for the course for Siglemik.
This is a good
This
internet
guy
era.
captured the gaming community's attention like no speedrunner had ever done before. Every record was in front of thousands of viewers, and was heard by many thousands more in the following days. It really can't be overstated the impact
It's also just
Siglemik
such a
had on
fun game to
speedrunning back in
watch.
2012.
If you
Through
ever
his
played it.
August marathon and
'Cause
hundreds
the
of hours of
movement's so sick
dedication,
and it-
he'd achieved a 144 while making speedrunning more popular than ever. Throughout the rest of 2012, Siglemik played the game off and on. His motivation dried up a bit once there were no threats to his record. He developed a cycle where he wouldn't play for several weeks, then came back and did a 12 or 24-hour stream. It seemed like a perfect run with his strategies and skills could be a 143. He had a high 144 right now, so he'd have to take another minute off. It was possible by cleaning up mistakes, but sustaining that level of gameplay over an hour and a half would be tough. In October, Siglemik took a step in that direction with a 144.23. As opposed to his last record, practically nothing is known about this run. No footage exists, and no splits
This
have
isn't
been
even that long
provided.
ago. That's crazy.
All we have are a couple screenshots someone posted
We
to
don't have
Reddit
video for
seconds after the end of
2012?
the run. Siglemik continued the sporadic playstyle over the next couple months, and on December 19th, he came through with one more world record. 144.01.
13 years? Yeah, but
This is another run
it's
with
like
a
years
full
after
surviving
YouTube, you
video.
know?
His only significant mistake downstairs was when he messed up pillarless and died, costing him 25 seconds. Upstairs, he had a slow rainbow ride star when he missed the switch and then failed the backup. Those were his biggest mistakes across an hour and 44 minutes. If he'd only been 2 seconds faster, this would have been the 143. But it was still a really solid run, and a big cut off the record. This run finally satisfied Siglemik. He was now ahead of second place by a minute and a half.
Yeah, it's pretty
His
sick.
motivation died down even more. He was the king of Super Mario 64. He had the notoriety.
I've beaten Super Mario 64 1 or 2 times a day for around 2.5 years. Dude, he's 20 years old and he's put 5,000 hours into the game. Over a tenth of his life has been spent playing just Super Mario 64. Yeah, I mean, that's no wonder you're incredible, but you gotta fucking...
The name recognition, and of course, his records spoke for themselves.
Average league enjoyer? No, the average league enjoyer has put in more time but has less results. Average league enjoyer has put in double the hours from even a younger age, but has absolutely nothing to show for it and no world record, and is probably like a mad silver 4 player. Just a fucking furious, raging silver 4 player who spends the other half of their time in League of Legends chats talking shit to the streamer.
When anyone thought of Mario 64 speedrunning, they thought of Siglemik. He ran 120 star live at Awesome Games Done Quick in January 2013.
Damn,
this
look
was
at
the
that
first
early-ass
time most people had seen him
GDQ.
before. Many called his run the best part of the week-long marathon. Entering 2013, Siglemik's streams really slowed down. He went months at a time without playing. A 143 was still possible, but it wasn't a high priority for him.
Clint-esque.
There was no telling how long it'd take for him to be dethroned. Way ahead of everyone else, with his legacy already set in stone, Siglemik rode off into the sunset.
07 soldier. Enter Squeaks.
On August 18th, 2013, the Super Mario 64 community woke up to some pretty shocking news. A player named Hyacinth27 had supposedly just beaten Siglemik's 120 star record. The new time was 143.37, and he had streamed it live. Many had never heard of this guy before, and now it seemed like he'd somehow beaten Siglemik to the 143. Supportive messages poured in. Even Twitch themselves congratulated Hyacinth. But...
Dude, I probably wrote this tweet. What year was this? I probably wrote this tweet. Watch the Throne, son? I mean, that was the album I listened to all the time. I probably fucking wrote this tweet. This is probably like one of the first tweets I ever wrote. Hashtag gotta go fast. Holy fuck. Holy fuck. I was incredible from minute one at this job.
How could this happen? What was going on? Well, while Siglemic got massive attention for his 120 star records in 2012, a group of runners was trying to get good in the background on Wii Virtual Console, which, as we know, would give them a 2-minute advantage. There was still no official ruling on Virtual Console runs, so they knew a faster run might be considered the official world record, even if it was worse played than Siglemic's runs on console. Over time, most of these runners gave up, but one kept going. Hyacinth. Throughout early 2013, he got good on Virtual Console.
Oh, so he was a VC
By
world
August,
record.
with the built-in advantage, he was good enough to beat Siglemic's time, technically achieving the first 143
Mickey
in
Mouse
Super Mario
ring.
64 history.
Sorry, but that's a Mickey Mouse ring.
Controversy erupted. Hyacinth was a very good player, but the footage showed he wasn't on Siglemic's level. He got some hard tricks, like cannonless and pillarless, but he had plenty of
Type
slow
of shit
moments.
Squeaks would do.
And overall, his movement wasn't as clean either.
Do you guys know that? Sorry to bring this up. It's not a big deal. I'm not even mad about it. But Squeaks plays Get to Work on a Wii Virtual Console emulator, which cuts down his time. So technically, I don't know if we would retime it, but like, if we did our races, we'd have to add a minute or two to what he does. Not to throw shade or anything. Not a big deal, but it is kind of like just it feels weird, you know?
The community was divided on how to treat this run. Some felt it was a legit new world record, and Siglemic should have been playing on Virtual Console all along. Others disagreed, and thought Virtual Console was its own separate category. It was a valid question. Do you prioritize original hardware, or fastest version available? There was no set way of dealing with it. How did Siglemic feel about all this? Well, he wasn't too happy. Here was this new guy, clearly not as good and with an inferior run, claiming world record based off a technicality.
Yuck.
Siglemic could have been playing on Virtual Console too, but remember, he chose not to all those years ago so that he could be on equal footing with Japanese runners. Hyacinth did the exact opposite. He specifically picked Virtual Console so he could have an advantage. So, Siglemic devised a plan. He created a brand new Twitch account, Based Earn God. He stuck a weird-looking timer in the top left. He booted up Mario 64 on Virtual Console. He distorted the colors to deliberately make it look horrible. He played copyrighted music in the background. And within hours, he beat the run that Hyacinth took months to achieve.
Fucking base. Okay, that's actually legendary. That's legendary. Dude, I did not know that. I never heard that story. That's fucking Sigma. That's fucking awesome. I didn't know Sigma had that dog in him. That is like, dude, that is exactly like Scorpion Master. That's when, before the days when they would have face cams and footage with Melee tournaments, Mango pretended to be a different person named Scorpion Master who only played Mario and started fucking up everybody on the West Coast, and they would upload these VODs and be like, holy shit, this new Scorpion Master Mario player is like so good, you might be good enough to beat Mango. That's a legendary Melee story.
Siglemic had made a statement. Wii Virtual Console was its own category. Nintendo 64 was the only legit way to run the game. Just like he'd done in 2011, it more or less ended the platform debate. The recognized world record was Siglemic's 144.01 on Nintendo 64.
Yeah, that does
and
it.
to this day, nobody else has ever threatened the world record on anything other than an original Nintendo 64.
Dude, that's so based. That's so fucking based.
After that curious...
I wish I was good enough to do this for... I'm just not good. I'm not fucking Sigma chatted enough. But back when I was still competing in Hitman, after I got the record, before I totally fell off, I wanted to do a run that beat the world record, but without using the stupid fucking glitch they use now where Hitman glitches through everything. He walks through every... It ruins the viewer. It's so boring to watch. I hate watching Hitman records now because they phase through all the crowd. It's like you're not even part of the world. Everything, you just phase through everything. It's the most annoying glitch. It like makes it not fun to watch. And I wanted to like beat it without that. I want to do a fucking chat ass, but I'm not good enough. I mean, it's just I'm not nearly good enough. But I wish someone would do that. No, there's plenty of cool glitches in Hitman, but that one's not one of them. And I wish more speedrunning things would think about the viewership. Like, for example, everyone knows the GoldenEye glitch where you look at the fucking ground so you move faster, but it's like so boring to watch. I wish there was like, not glitchless, but like the cool glitches are in. Like, we should pick the glitches that are so boring that they ruin the fun of the video. Cool percent. I don't know what it is. I'm not a fucking expert. Maybe they can't do it. But it always bothered me because I felt like the earlier runs of Hitman, you were showing more actual Hitman. And then by the end, like they weren't interacting with the world at all.
The saga was over, things went back to normal. Siglemic did attempts every now and then,
5%,
but for the most part, he left the 120-star record alone. He was tired of resetting over and over again early for Canonless. It wasn't too fun. But finally, in early 2014, Siglemic started to get some legitimate competition. For the first time since Honey in 2012, somebody moved within half a minute of his world record. The runner's name was Puncation. Punke started running the game in 2012, inspired by old school runners like Giano and later Siglemic. He began streaming in 2013 and steadily lowered his 120-star PB from the 150s to the 140s, gradually approaching Siglemic's level. This slow and methodical march downward culminated in a 144.30, the closest anyone had been to Siglemic in years. Punke's run had a particularly slow start, with a bad Womps Fortress and Cool Mountain, but that just showed he had more time to save. The potential was there to get a 143. With Punke closing in, Siglemic ramped up his attempts again.
Oh, he's back.
He was so close to a 143. Just 2 more seconds and he'd be satisfied. He started doing 24-hour streams of 120-star, and supposedly had some amazing attempts.
So unhealthy.
A Reddit post from March 18th
so
details
unhealthy.
one run that was on pace for a massive record deep, but Sig made catastrophic mistakes at the end to kill it. This continued into April. Siglemic just couldn't beat his 144.01. Then on April 22nd, it was Punke coming through with another PB, 144.11, performed live in front of thousands of viewers.
That's cool.
He was now just 10 seconds away from Siglemic. This run was also on 143 pace deep, but he died on Rainbow Ride going for the Lakitu bounce.
Yikes.
You're intended to go above the red coins to get to the cruiser, but by precisely wall kicking and then bouncing off Lakitu, you can take a shortcut to get there faster.
Such a sick skip. It's
difficult, and Punke died going for it. Had he not, this would have been the first ever 143.
Oh damn, really?
Siglemic was on the verge of this slipping away. He'd been dominant ever since the record was a 146. It seemed like 143 would be his natural end goal, but now Punke had swooped in. And
Dude,
it
it's
might
fine.
be
You're the
too
legend.
late. Determined to get the 143, he started up a stream the same day as Punke's 144.11. Just as usual, Siglemic played for hours, much of that time spent at the start of the game. But eventually, he got a run going, and it was evident that this time, he was locked in.
No. Oh no! Whoa, clutch!
He gradually worked his way through the
Insanely
basement.
clutch!
Hazy Maze Cave, Lethal Lava Land, Big Boo's Haunt. He made small mistakes, but nothing huge.
That was insanely
Star after
clutch.
star went down. He eventually made it upstairs, exactly 1 second ahead of the record. Everything intensified now. He was entering the home stretch, but also some of the game's hardest levels. Despite this, everything went smoothly until he played Tall Tall Mountain. Siglemic failed to enter the wall, and had to bail to another star. Not a huge mistake, but without splits he couldn't tell how bad it was. After, things went well for a while, but he had a rough 100 coin star in TikTok block. he missed one single coin from a question mark block.
No!
And when he tried to chase it down, it had fallen over the edge.
No.
So, he had to go out of his way to collect more coins. After tick-tock clock, Siglemik was 4 seconds behind the record. The 143 might still be possible, but from here to the end, Siglemik would need near perfection.
Oh. Oh. When the music kicks in, dude. In a Summoning Salt video. This is just the ghost speedrunning game, man. It's so fucking fun.
All right, 143. That's it. I just got 143. That was sick.
Overwhelming relief. After years of the 144.01 being on top, finally, the 143 was real. And despite Punke making a push, Siglemik was the one to achieve it. While he did have his share of slowdowns, the ending of this run was amazing. Close to perfect gameplay throughout Rainbow Ride and Bowser in the Sky. An extremely well-deserved record, and a massive milestone
Clutching
in the
at the
game's
end is so
history.
sick.
That being said, most thought this record wouldn't last long. It seemed inevitable that, any day now, Punke was going to take over. His time was on a collision course with Siglemik. And sure enough,
You gotta
just a
pass the
day
torch
later,
eventually.
Punke got a 144.05. The runners were separated by just 12 seconds. But instead of defending his record, Siglemik switched categories. He'd already gotten what he wanted from 120 star, so he was content to sit aside and watch what Punke could do. After a few weeks, Punke's time still remained at 144.05. Yet, his abilities improved all the while. He was building up the skills he'd need once that world record chance presented itself. And on May 22nd, he got that chance. First off, Punke still wasn't going for LBLJ. Why? Well, for one thing, there was a misconception of how much time it saved. We know today it saves about 10 seconds, but back then it was believed to be a much smaller time save. But skipping LBLJ was also reflective of Punke's playstyle in general. He had the reputation of being a bit of a safe runner. He was capable of great movement, and had an extremely high skill level, but he didn't always go for the riskiest strategies. Compared to Siglemik, he lost a small amount of time from his gameplay, yet also made fewer mistakes. It meant he got more runs going, with more chances at the record. In this particular run, Punke fell a bit behind early, but avoided a death that Siglemik took during Pillarless. So heading upstairs, he was 15 seconds ahead of the record. The name of the game upstairs is consistency. Since 120 star runs are so long, filled with non-stop tech and execution, small mistakes are inevitable through the run. The key is to avoid the big mistakes, especially upstairs.
Dude, I thought there was no fucking way he could find a way to put that in the video again. That's crazy. We are now years past it even happening. That's crazy. That's Dr. Battle-esque.
And that was Punke's specialty.
Yeah,
even though his
what a
movement
knife
was a
twist.
bit slower, he made up time by making fewer mistakes. This
can't believe-
consistency
if he
gave him a
shows it
lead
again-
over the record going into Bowser. But despite over an hour and a half of clean gameplay, he still had to land 3 Bowser throws, or it would all be for nothing.
Clint Stevens throws. Clint Stevens throws. Oh, easy money.
Did it.
Easy fucking money. New world record?
I did it.
W!
The most prestigious record in all of speedrunning had just changed hands. This was the first time since Siglemik's August marathon that he didn't hold the world record. The community celebrated Punke's achievement, stunned to see a new name at the top. And it was well deserved. Punke had developed the best consistency that the game had ever seen. Throughout the summer of 2014, Siglemik and Punke raced each other regularly. They formed a great rivalry since they were nearly equal in skill, even if their playstyles were a bit different. But although he enjoyed racing, Siglemik had no interest in going for the record anymore. After so many years of playing, he'd done what he wanted with 120 star, and his motivation to lower the record was gone. So now, that meant it was Punke's game. Could he keep improving the record? The thing is, Punke hadn't been at this as long as Siglemik. Month after month, his movement and consistency got a little bit better. So, Punke believed that if he kept going, he could eventually make it to the next minute barrier. While the 143 was associated with Siglemik, maybe Punke's time could be the 142. That July, he embarked on a journey to try and get it.
Damn, this is like bringing back memory. Punke was like the big speedrunner.
Nice dude. You did it.
This is like
Nice
me
dude.
working at Twitch era. Like this is me my first month at, you know. That's so wild.
Good gameplay.
I remember it.
All right, that's a new world
That's so
record. I'll take it. I still don't think this
Armada.
round is that good.
Armada.
No! No, dude! Why?
Yikes.
Are you
Yikes.
freaking kidding me?
Yikes. $142?
No!
Oh, he choked it. He choked
No,
it.
dude!
While the records kept coming, Punke couldn't help but get frustrated. He'd come so close to the 142,
Not
only
as
to
bad as
have
that
it
Rainbow
slip
Ride
away in the
death,
final
though.
seconds. By late July, he'd set 5 world records in a row. Pretty incredible given how nobody
That
had
is
been able
crazy.
to dethrone Siglemik for so long. Now that Punke had taken over, he was pushing the game to new heights. But the 142 still eluded him. On
Anyone
July
wanna be my
28th,
girlfriend after
Punke opened a
142?
10-second lead early. He maintained that lead all the way through the basement, with his only mistakes being relatively
Riz.
minor. He then balanced a big time save in Fire Sea with a bad Jetstream star in Dire Docks. So he made it upstairs with a 16-second lead, on pace for a 142.
Easily.
He then played a classic Puncation upstairs, consistent and clean, without any huge time losses or time gains. Ahead by 19 seconds, Punke entered Bowser in the Sky. He was far enough ahead that even with a mistake, he would still be able to get the 142. But the pressure was on.
Oh no.
He still had to avoid dying or something else catastrophic.
Oh no.
And we remember what happened last time.
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. I think I'm safe from dying now.
No, never say that. Never say that. Oh no, I'm so worried. Never say you're safe from dying. Oh!
Oh my gosh! I swear, I swear. I can't believe
What the
this.
fuck is happening?
I cannot believe this.
Wait,
right
what is
now.
happening?
Are you freaking kidding me? I think that just ended it. I think that just ended it.
Okay, why did Punke keep failing this jump? Well, this clip explains what's going on. While the axle appears to be rotating around its center, its hitbox actually rotates around one of its points. So if you're standing on the wrong platform and jump at the wrong time, you'll run into the hitbox. Punke didn't know this, and it cost him a ton of time. Still, maybe there was just enough room to eke out
The odds have to be
142.
so bad, right? Of that happening.
That was it, man. That was 142. I just lost 142 because the invis wall just got
that's
me 3
so
times.
fucked.
Like, are you kidding me?
That's so fucked.
He missed
dude.
it by just 2 seconds.
That's
Hitting the
so
invisible wall
fucked.
twice would have been okay, but 3 times was too much. He couldn't have found a more disheartening way to lose it. This was the sort of thing that might...
That's actually so brutal. Miyamoto's last gift. Wait, I want to see it again, just one more time.
Still, Punke didn't know this, and it cost him wrong time. Here's this jump. What?
That just ended it. Kidding me. Believe this. I cannot believe this right now.
What happens the third
I think
time?
I'm safe from dying now.
Okay. He gets up here. Wait, I just want to see it one more time. So he's just really unlucky here that he picked this one that has the hitbox. Hits the hitbox. Then what? Oh, he waits again. Okay. 2 times.
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
Okay.
I swear. I swear.
Damn, that fucking sucks ass. That sucks ass. Oh, that's so tragic.
This right now. Freaking.
Okay, on. While that round out,
That was 2 because the invis wall just got me.
he missed it by just 2 seconds. Hitting the
That is a
invisible wall
Chungus life
twice would have
moment.
been okay, but 3 times was too much. He couldn't have found a more disheartening way to lose it. This was the sort of thing that might have haunted Punke for months. He could have been thinking about it every time he had a run go deep, and never quite been able to close it out.
How about that happen to me?
But Punke was getting so many chances, and was improving so much, that he powered through the pain. And just a few days later,
what a beast.
He came back and finished the job.
What a beast. W!
142.59. By the skin of his teeth, this was the run Punke'd been chasing after all summer. And yet, he barely seemed to care. Probably because he knew his
I'm not really that happy, LOL. I guess I'm just a person with little emotion or something. I don't know.
work wasn't done yet. The run started with a slow Womp's Fortress,
tough.
and in Fire Sea he fell down to miss the cycle. Those alone were 30 seconds of possible time save, not to mention other small mistakes throughout the run. So, rather than being satisfied with the 142, Punke just kept going. On August 16th, he got a run that capitalized on the Womp's Fortress and Fire Sea time save, but got hit by a shark in Dire Docks.
Bad. No.
Despite that, he kept the run very clean all through upstairs, and going into Rainbow Ride, he had a 13-second lead.
Shark!
Nearly perfect Rainbow Ride so far. This is exactly what I need. I don't want to get like a tiny world record improvement.
Imagine
I don't want to get
imagine he does the same thing as Siglimit. Oh yeah.
I just screwed it up. Yeah, dude.
Okay, so maybe not the record he was looking for, but he wasn't done yet. About a month later, Punke got another small improvement, 142.55. This time, he had slowdowns in Lethal Lava Land and the Vanish Capstar, but made up for it with a very clean upstairs. No death in Rainbow Ride.
Beast.
It all balanced out for another unsatisfying record. Finally, on September 24th, Punke got the type of run he was looking for. Over the past few weeks, his movement had been getting better and better, and it all came together in this one run. He gained time through the lobby, through the basement, and made it upstairs nearly a half minute ahead of the record.
That's beast.
This was the fastest pace anyone had ever been on, and his clean gameplay continued upstairs. Punke gained time through the next 4 levels, and entering Tippy, he had a 40-second lead.
So we call it Tippy.
In the last few
Who
levels,
decided
he
to call it
finally
Tippy?
faltered a bit. A coin fell off once again in Tick-Tock Clock, so he had to do the backup. And in Rainbow Ride, he made an all too familiar mistake. Still, he managed to keep a good chunk of his lead, and it culminated in a final time of 142.41.
Beast.
A sizable world record, close to what he was looking for. Had Tippy gone as smoothly as the rest of the run, this might have felt close to unbeatable. Punke was now more than a full minute ahead of Siglemic's last
That's
record.
crazy.
This was a similar level of domination to what Siglemic had a couple years ago. Punke had done it through a combination of consistency and
Dude.
gradual movement
Beat his own record 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times.
improvements. He saved fractions of a second here and there on stars. That adds up to a decent time save across all 120 stars. Pun-K was the king. At least until October 2014, when perhaps the biggest discovery in 120 star history was made.
Wait, I want to guess. Is this the thing on Rainbow Ride where you can skip the carpetless? Or Squeaks? They discovered Squeaks. Oh wait, carpetless is more recently, right?
You're familiar with cannonless. This trick was the bane of 120 star runners' existence. It was effectively random. Even if you performed it correctly, you just ran at the wall and hoped to collect the star. It worked around 20% of the time, and if you didn't get it within a couple tries, you were forced to reset the run. It was possible to get stuck in this loop for a long time, and top 120 star runners hated it. But in October 2014, it was Sockfolder to the rescue. Sockfolder is a legendary glitch hunter who has found setups for tricks in popular speedruns like Ocarina of Time and Super Mario Bros. One day, he posted on Twitter, "For fun, I will make a 100% cannonless setup." And that's exactly what he did.
That's actually so fucking
After a few
beast.
tweaks to simplify things, Sockfolder...
In what, like in a few days, he solved thousands of collective man hours of lost time. It kind of reminds me of whoever came up with, I forget, was it Mendy? Whoever came up with the consistent Paris bomb launch. That changed everything about Hitman, because then you didn't have to, it wasn't like reset.
Had invented a setup to hit cannonless every single time.
That was Squeaks?
You grab the wall next to the plank and pull yourself up. Adjust the camera, then backflip onto the plank, punch once, hold down to grab the edge of the plank, then adjust the camera once more, pull yourself up, and hold down to run off the edge. If done correctly, you'll grab the star every time. There's several steps involved, but none of it's difficult, and it wastes only a few seconds compared to running at the wall. This was so huge for the speedrun. Runners no longer had to waste hours trying cannonless over and over. They could get so many more runs going. Now,
That's fucking awesome.
It was only a matter of time before Pun-K would get another
That's
record
awesome.
improvement. He continued doing attempts in late 2014. Keep in mind, the record he was up against had a very fast start. It was only in Tippy that it began to bleed time. So on December 18th, despite falling as far behind as 28 seconds, he was able to bring it back. He had a very clean tick-tock clock to save 14 seconds, pushing him into the lead. And in the home stretch, Pun-K preserved that lead. He landed all 3 Bowser throws and closed out the run as a 142.32. This was Pun-K's 11th consecutive world record. Since taking over, he'd taken exactly...
It's kind of sad. Every new Reddit thread they show about a world record gets less upvotes. As people get more and more acclimated to it, you know? It was like the first one had like 10,000. And now it's like 152. It's like people aren't... speedrunning lost its magic.
Pun-K's 11th consecutive world record. Since taking over, he'd taken exactly 1 minute and 20 seconds off the 120 star record. The simple reason for this? Pun-K had consistency that was unrivaled, even by Siglemic at his best. While these two were roughly equal in skill in mid-2014, as the year went on, Siglemic stopped playing and Pun-K just pulled away. As of late 2014, that was the state of 120 star. Pun-K was in full control of the leaderboard. The new cannonless setup had opened the door to new possibilities. While Pun-K had already taken the time to a mid-142, there was certainly room to keep dropping it with more attempts. The future was wide open. But to show you the next chapter in 120 Star's history, I actually want to go back a few months. Back to that period in mid-2014, when Pun-K and Siglemic were both active, racing each other regularly and having a blast competing together.
Great time.
Now, we know that Siglemic's world records have largely been lost to time. So frankly, the clip I'm about to show you from a random stream of his, it's incredible that it somehow survived. This was most likely from June 3rd, 2014, just a couple weeks after Pun-K first took the record from Siglemic. Sig and Pun-K were about to race each other, one-on-one in 70 star. The two best runners in the world going head-to-head, with thousands of people watching live. This was gonna be good. But then, right as they were about to start, a third player joined the race. This player was a promising runner, rising up the ranks, but really nothing special yet. He was in 29th place on the leaderboard. Nobody was paying attention to this guy. Why would he join a race against number 1 and number 2? But maybe he was confident for a reason.
Clint?
Although he got crushed by Siglemek and Punke in this race, he wasn't discouraged. And over the next several years, this guy would go on to set more world records, and perhaps have the greatest legacy of anybody who has ever played Super Mario 64.
Luigi?
And the very first time that people heard his name was this clip from Siglemek's stream.
Dude, who's this random dude? Cheese 05?
Oh,
Why did you
Cheese?
join this race? This is the race between two titans. You'll get
That's so funny. Okay, dude. That's so funny. There's a part 2. Holy fuck. The cinematic universe of Summoning Salt is expanding. That was fire. That was a great video. Thanks again, Summoning Salt, for putting out this type of content. It's so fire. It's so fucking sick. Yeah, the Cheese era was huge. Obviously, Cheese is great too. But isn't like Suigi the undisputed GOAT? Am I crazy? I'm going to spoil myself. 120 star world record. Who has it right now? Suigi has it right now. 135. Where do we leave off in that video? 142? Dude, we're 7 minutes faster than that? Yeah, Suigi has all 5, right? Look at this. Look at this shit. Just fucking look at this shit, dude. Wait. 120 star. 135. Unreal. 70 star. 46 minutes. Unreal. 16 star. 1435. Unreal. 2 years of holding this record? 2 years of 16 star in the competitive era? 1 star. 6 minutes 56 seconds. 0 star. That's so fucking crazy. Sweet. I mean, that's the greatest thing the Canadians ever done. Why do they make him prime minister? That's fucking crazy. Where's Squeaks? What does Squeaks run? 16? Is Squeaks in top 200? He runs 70? Okay. Let's see. Let's see if we can find Squeaks. I saw Armada's been like climbing. Armada finally almost broke top 10. Like he's getting there. He's been grinding for so long. He passed Punke. Where there's Liam. That's a speed run. 6 years ago. Does Liam still do this every day? And that's his PB 6. Oh, he does 120. Okay, I was okay. Okay. Because I like Liam a lot. I tune in and watch him, but I didn't know he was doing Control F. When I got a fucking Control F. Wait, make sure it's like. No, it doesn't even work. He's not there. There is no. All right, maybe he's. Can I just search for his name? Squeaks. Holy. The speedrunner of the year, folks. Coming in at a cool 198 2 years ago. Top 200 in the world of the 70-star category specifically. With a 2-year-old PB. 50 minutes, 25 seconds. Ladies and gentlemen, Squeaks. And that is why he won Speedrunner of the Year last year. Because of his record from 2 years ago at rank 198. Over Suigi, who barely did anything at all. I mean, what did Suigi do in the past year? Speedrunning. What did Suichi do? I don't know. It just feels like I feel like it's not worth it to give it to him because he hasn't been working that hard. He hasn't been working that hard. Like, is he good at the game? He's fine at the game, but he's not a Squeaks level talent. He's not a Squeaks level talent. All right, it is 9:42. Now, normally I would say let's go to fucking bed, or at least end. However, it's Thursday night. I want to try Blueprints. Fuck it, dude. We're gaming. We're gamers. Let's fucking play it. I can't play very long, but why not? Gamers, get in. Gaming is back, playing the new game of the year. Blueprints. I heard this game is good, right? So